Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I leapt headfirst into the black, searching for answers. I found only more questions. My memories fade with each step. I feel a weight. It's so heavy. I find nothing. Here in darkness, I awaken for the first time. My skin is on fire. My lungs ache for air. My body's too weak to stand. To fight back. The pain pierces every thought. Death would be a kindness that I do not deserve. Let me die broken.
Ouch.
Welcome.
We immediately run into B team because Young Dank is.
Thank you, Mort. Welcome to Broken.
Yeah.
Episode 23.
Hi.
We're chatting. The energy was too good. I had to just hit the go live button. How is
Thank-
everybody doing? How is everybody?
Oh, pretty good, all things considered.
Good. It's been a little while since we sat down and played. I think I was sick last week. But we're here now. So, welcome everybody. Hope you're all having a pretty good week so far. Let's see here. Why don't we do this? We'll do the thing where we go around the horn and everybody tells us who they're playing and what's going on with their character. And then we'll jump in. So we'll start with you, Dank.
Right, yeah, I am, Dank. I am playing a homeless covert ops veteran of multiple significant conflicts, trying to figure out what's going on here in space Australia, how I ended up here, why I don't remember a lot of things, and I want to get back to where everything kind of made more sense.
Yeah.
Trying to find my lost artifacts from my previous life along the way.
Right on. All sense is gone. I cannot guarantee a return to sense. But there's might be some other stuff waiting for you down here in the dark. Thank you, Dank. Gerblin.
Yo, I play Enigma. Who's, got their own going on. Not that they're gonna tell any of these just yet. We'll see what happens in this city of lots of people that I can be charming with.
Yes, we will.
Starting off with a lot of brus right off the jump.
We are doing a few brus. It's okay. I come to expect brus from this group. So,
I don't know what you
Let's see how
want
many
from
Zack can
me.
drop.
All right, Mori, tell us a little bit about your character and what's going on.
I play Cassidy. She's our little mechanic. She jumped off the cliff after Naela last episode and still wants to beat the ever-living stuffing out of her.
Good luck with
We'll
that.
see. We'll see how that goes. Oh, and she's got to make Weight Watcher some floaties since he don't float.
Yeah, fair enough.
But at least he's waterproof.
Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Thank you, Maury. Caitlin, tell us a bit about Naela.
Yeah, Naela got possessed by the Leviathan last session.
I mean, you kind of did ask for it.
I absolutely asked for it because we needed transportation to the city. You're
Hey, we got it.
welcome.
After giving us a heart attack.
But she essentially entered this thing called synapse, and with that, she can kind of communicate with the Leviathan, who is connected to all animal life.
Yes, and you did get transport across the giant lake to the docks of Nataku. So, congrats. Thank you, Caitlin. Zack.
Yes.
Hello. Do you want to tell? Did you want to tell us what's going on with your character? What are you? How are things?
Well, I'm looking over the side into the water, trying to figure out where Maury's character is, seeing if she drowned, and possibly may or may not be laughing my ass off.
Yes. You have since seen Maury come up along with Naela. I'm sorry, you've seen Cassidy come up along with Naela, and you guys have surfed on top of slicers across the water at this point. I think we left off with you guys arriving at the docks.
We had just gotten to the city.
You're right,
Yeah.
right.
Because you brought me Weight Watcher down.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Because I
I'm
left
ready
him at
to
the top of the
explore.
cliff and told him to be a good boy.
I think he was more asking you, like, what your character is, and go over that, like normal, you know.
I'm a flesh wizard.
He's Paul Blart Fleshmaul.
I could take off my body parts and do cool things with them.
You can. And apparently you
Pinky.
can travel through. You can transport via flesh walls to other places and back too. Apparently.
So excited. I'm so
Gross.
excited. I could just jump on a dead body and I could just whoop, here I am.
Yes. Sure. Totally. Thank you, Zack. Wolfy.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I'm the resident con man. So most of my fun is going to be had here, where there's more people for me to take things from.
Yes. Certainly more than where you guys started. That's for sure.
Now I just need to find a way to make art.
Yeah.
Quotation marks. Art.
No, real art. It's not my art, but it's real art.
I suppose we'll get into some of that hijinks today. Right, so you guys have all found your way to the city of Nataku. You have split up. Let's see here. Let's see if we can't pull you over to this screen here. You'll notice I removed some of the names of things because you guys don't know where those things are yet.
I don't know where anything is yet.
So it looks like we had Derrin and Enigma and Shalim and Udaya entering the city from one direction, basically via land, and the rest of the group entering via these docks and slicer school that you surfed across the surface of the water on.
Again, you're welcome.
Yeah, and as you guys arrive at the docks, you step off of the slicers, who quickly duck back under the water as you disembark, and you are sort of left standing on these docks that are sort of covered with a crowd of people. There are a few people watching you. A lot of people here are simply fishing. And I think that's sort of where we left off last episode. Is that right? So.
Yeah.
We fade back in on the scene of you all like standing on the docks, along with our little intro track thing here. The circle. Here we go. Well, let me put on my voice. Hang on. Let me try this again. The circle drank the tears of gods to feed forsaken souls below. In seas of sorrow built a home where no one thought that life could grow. To forge a kinship with the unknown, to live where no one dared to go. Submit the world and flip its head to stare humanity at its toes. There's a saying in Nataku, better to be chained to one another than to Nibiru. The latter will offer no compassion. This showcases the mentality of the flooded countries. Locals refer to it as Kamu culture. In their mind, we're all in this together. It is strange, is it not, that here, underneath the weight of the world, of all of Nibiru, where humanity futilely flails against the ever-encroaching, crushing weight of the abyss, the void of darkness, it is here that they so naively, so valiantly stand together as one. Do they know how little time they have left? Do they care? Or does it matter only what they do in this moment? The blackout is coming. This is a fact. Is what the future holds ever so distant as when one cannot guarantee their next breath of fresh air, their next meal? There is so little I can do to reconcile this, and so little fight left in me now. There are those who hold the keys to Nataku's salvation yet, although the cost may be simply too high. Not only for Nataku, but for all of Nibiru. There is no good way to keep life going. Europa knew this, as do I. Okay. Standing at the docks, there is one person in the crowd who kind of sticks out watching as you all approach. Is a fisherwoman perched at the edge of the dock, wearing sort of hides, kind of leathers, mostly tattered. She does have like a sort of silken red cloak. Leaned up next to her is a metallic spear. At her feet is a sort of lantern with glowing blue fungus in it. Also a bucket with some fish swimming around. And in her hand, she holds a kraj pipe, which is currently smoldering. As you all step off of your slicers and onto the dock, she almost doesn't even look at you. You just kind of hear like a, huh, neat trick.
I have no idea what you're talking about. These lovely creatures were so willing to give us a passage across. There was no trick.
She takes a long drag off of her pipe. You see like the ember in the tip glow brighter for a moment before she exhales, still like barely opening her eyes. She kind of leans forward. As she does, you see a necklace kind of poke out from under her hides that she's wearing. The tip of it is like crystal orb pendant with a small little glowing mushroom in it. And she says, it's a curious thing to train creatures such a way. How do you get them to skirt across the top of the water without a power source dangling in front of them? I wonder.
Oh, hang on, I've got a thing for this.
He is like clinging to Way Watcher, like, like no.
Yeah, no, Naela is not about to share her secret.
Let's see here. Where is it? Okay, I've got a 2 to distraction. So I'm going to pull out my bass guitar and try to distract this woman from that line of thinking by playing the Wellerman on bass.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah, so you hit her with the anyway. Maybe. You start jamming out
I love Wellerman.
on the bass. Yeah, she nods and taps her her bare foot to it. Takes another drag off of her pipe. She doesn't continue speaking. I think she just sort of like leans back and closes her eyes and kind of listens to the music. And she says, something familiar about this song. Where did you pick it up?
You know, here and there. Anywhere near a body of water deserves a tune like this.
Yeah, she kind of nods. And she kind of leans back over to you all and she says, she just like starts to knock out her pipe on the dock next to her before she starts like going through her pack to maybe like restock it. And she says, are you all new to Nataku?
Indeed we are.
What brings you to our vault? She packs some grayish paste-looking material into the pipe.
Yeah, no. Naela's probably staring at it, which is why she's probably not answered the question.
Yeah. Let's see if
He's
she
gonna, like,
notices.
Punch her in the shoulder.
Let's see if she notices you staring at the pipe. She does. And she starts to, like, she has a little device, a little lighter kind of device. It's like a flint, I guess. Kind of primitive lighter device. And she was about to, like, light it, and she notices you staring at it, and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to partake?" She,
Yes!
like, offers
Yes!
offers you the pipe and the lighter.
She is taking at least one hit.
Okay, yeah. She watches you as you do it. So it's got a decent taste to it. And you do notice immediately, like, you've been feeling some of the effects of Kabadu. Granted, you guys have been medicated with injectors thus far. I don't think you've had any for a while. And, there's been a lot going on with the traveling and stuff. Maybe you haven't been able to do all your exercises fully or get your proper DDM rest, or at least, like, as much as you need doing your stretches and things. But as soon as you take a puff off the pipe, you feel like a pressure you weren't even realizing how intense it was, like an uncomfortability in your body and your like your mind, like you were on the verge of headache, and it kind of, like, subsides. You feel like a little relaxation. It's not incredibly potent. You do feel some of, like, the high effects, but it's not strong enough or pronounced enough to, like, overcome your senses. You're still very much aware of what's going on and stuff, but you do, like, feel a little sort of relief. Clearly it's some kind of, like, homemade blend of hers.
She is definitely giving a sigh of relief.
Yeah, she kind of bows as she, like, watches you take the puff off of the pipe, and she gestures to your friends, like, might as well pass it around, I guess.
Naela will offer it to the others. Better take it now while you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a puff.
Okay. So yeah, you get sort of deep feeling of relaxation, kind of all of the muscles in your body that might be, like, tensed up, sort of untense and relax. You feel kind of like laying down almost, and it does help with, like, the pressure, the high gravity. You can feel it's easier to breathe. I do think for the rest of you, it might come on a little bit stronger, but still not overwhelming to the senses. Might just make you, like, a little giggly or something along those lines.
You just play a couple of bass riffs from Under Pressure.
Yeah.
Oh my god, beautiful.
She says, so, like, while the pipe's getting passed around, she says, so, what brings you all here? Now, just for our sake, audience's sake, who all's on the dock? It's Naela, Cassidy the robot, Cassidy and the robot, I should say.
Zack, Dank,
Mhm.
the Asafu, Ernest. I think we had some of the convoy come with us.
Yeah. We have a pretty motley crew assembled here.
Yeah. I think some of the Asapu probably even just get back into the water. Like they're not too uncomfortable in the water. There might even be some of them like trying to fish, for example. Yeah, so lady that you're talking to, she kind of gestures to like the crowd of people that are sort of have formed on the dock of all your companions getting out the strange looking Asapu. She probably like pauses on one of them and just stares at them for a moment. And she says, yeah, what brings such a large group to disembark here?
Just passing through.
She says, I can't help but notice that none of you have your Alaktu. She like gestures to the necklace she's wearing. And then she kind of like raises an eyebrow conspiratorially and she says, you aren't sneaking an army into our city, are you?
I'd hardly call this an army.
She looks over towards one of the Sapu, and then the back of her heel like nudges the bucket of fish back, kind of like under her leg a little bit, or she can kind of like protect it a little bit better.
We won't let them eat it.
She nods, and she says, good. I would like to save it for later. Are you all in need of help? Do you know your way around? Is there someone within the vault you're looking for?
Looking for OAB.
Remind us who OAB is.
OAB is the guy who can make me bullets.
All right, yeah.
He's like an artificer kind of guy.
Yeah. She squints at you and she says, OAB. Sorry, don't recognize the name.
And he's a maker
He
of
might be a. You go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Is just he's a maker of things.
She nods, and she says, well, there's quite a few makers located throughout the market. She kind of like points back behind her, like looking back behind her, there's crowds of people walking up and down the docks, relatively nearby, I'd say within like 50 feet. There's a kid who's ducked down by the edge of the water, and he's like tending to this little, like a little raft. The raft is very small. It's like a square-shaped raft. It's maybe like 3 feet across at most. And it's just sort of like tied up at the edge of the dock, and there's no room to stand on the little raft. It's just covered with like these different kinds of fungus set out in like little square lots on it, and the kid is like tending to this. She points past this kid, so we see him like go blurry, go out of focus, and across the water again, like where the dock kind of sticks out, so you're like looking across like the bay or whatever, is like a district of the city that she's pointing at, and she says, markets are over there. You should be able to find different traders. This OAB is a maker and has a store. It would likely be there.
Awesome. Thanks for the directions.
She kind of nods.
Is there anything in particular that you need assistance with?
Yeah, she says, well, Now that you mention it, I could use some help gathering some more food. She like gestures towards the bucket. Or, if you think you can teach me that trick with the slicers, we've got some large prey I would like to go after. Word is there's something lurking in the waters that connects Nataku to the countries. Something big. Perhaps a child of the Leviathan itself.
You'd seek to hunt something that dangerous.
She says, well, it could fetch quite the prize.
What kind of armaments do you have to bring down such a creature?
She says, I only need my spear. And she like gestures to the spear perched up behind her.
Naela will laugh. No. No.
Yeah, she like leans forward and like shows you her sleeve where like tied on like a leather string around her arm are various sized teeth. Some quite large, some like nearly like dagger blade sized. And she says, I've hunted big game in my time.
I say
As
that's
have I.
pretty impressive with just a spear.
She
From the
says,
stories I've heard, Big Game and Leviathan spawn are two different stories.
She nods. And she says, well, with each passing cycle, the waters grow deeper, darker. Who knows what's hiding out there, just waiting to be plucked.
It's fair.
Let me see here. I've added the Fisher's Market back to your map.
Cool.
Yeah, she says, could use a boat, perhaps, for something so big. But if I can learn your trick with the slicers, then, well, it's just as good, I suppose.
Yeah, that affinity for nature is something else.
You have to be at one with nature.
And a fish we can help with.
Yeah, she looks up and she says, well, by all means. She sort of like points towards the water.
See if you can like direct the Asapu to fish.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Oh, what the fuck? They need to eat too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, once they have their fill, they could stockpile some extra.
You got a point there.
Are you directing them, Dank?
It's gonna have to be me.
I've got nonverbal communication. I could try.
I'll do it. Just like a series of hand claps and gestures and things like that.
Yeah, you get their attention. You point to the bucket where there's like a fish sticking out, and we see you like going through the rudimentary steps of explaining them what to do. The lady watches you and kind of like tilts her head to the side. Here's my question to you. Are you tapping into your like vagabond ability to do this? To communicate with them like extra better?
No, because I have some things previously to communicate with them before I use the Leviathan thing. So I'm gonna use not the Leviathan thing first, because then that would sell myself out.
All right, make a roll.
Wow. Let's spend an influence.
Right.
I hate that. Jesus. Fuck.
Bruh.
That's better.
Go.
All right. So yeah. We see you have like this exchange with one of the Asapu. It like clicks and gets the attention of like a few others. They quickly dive into the water. We see them like disappear below the waves. And yeah, she watches with like a curious eye. And she says, "Well, that's interesting, I suppose. But what would you do if you didn't have them around?"
Well, we're
Fish
pretty
myself.
resourceful people, yeah.
Resourceful. Good. That I suppose you all have found a place to stay.
As we have just arrived here, no, not as of yet.
Well, I suppose you can try the inn. Unless you'd rather stay at the Tower of Merrick. She kind of like squints her eyes at you.
I'm unfamiliar with that place.
She's like watching you. You're like, I'm unfamiliar with that place.
Like, bro,
She-
I'm not from here.
Yeah, she's like
I feel
studying.
like she's mainly watching me, is what I feel.
She's like looks you up and down. Okay, clearly you're not familiar with that place. She says, it's a refuge of sorts for vagabonds.
Kind of you guys to do that for strangers. A lot of people aren't as generous with those
Is it
unfortunate
free?
peoples.
She says, I think you'll find that in the flooded countries in Nataku, we have a belief that we're all in this together.
It is nice to see such a flourishing, strong sense of community in people.
More places need to be like that.
Yeah. Start just jamming out the bass line from the Beatles, Come Together.
Yeah, so she points towards this tower that's aligned on the docks, and she marks that as the Tower of Merrick, should you be interested in going there. The Blackwater Inn, I'll add that to your map. Also, Old Inn, it's been rebuilt several times. It's where anybody can find a place to sleep, a DDM machine, all that kind of stuff. And she says, any friends that you are looking for? Is there anyone you need to regroup with while you're here? Anyone you need to catch up with in town? Like, this is me.
Out of character, I
this-
don't want to out them because they're pretending to be important people from like Arku, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I don't think we know that. That's the problem. Well, I guess Shalim and Odiah would be okay.
We would be smart enough to know not to sell each other out, though.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not really going to be doing that here, anyways.
Especially with knowing. Actually, I don't think Naela knows that. Just
How about we
kidding.
just say we got separated along the way? We don't have to say specific names or anything.
Fortune favors the bold. I'm sure we'll regroup with our companions in due time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says, well, the Blackwater Inn does give room and board in exchange for work. About an hour of work in their gardens. Gives you a place to stay for a lapse at least. Should
Not
you...
a bad deal.
She nods. She says, should the tower not be the appropriate place for you.
They got a job for a mechanic?
She
Seems like
she
they
kinda-
mostly want farming assistance.
yeah, she kind of thinks for a moment and she says, I'm sure there are harvesting machines that could use repair.
We'll see what we can find.
As she nods, she says, always work to be done on machines here. The only thing that keeps maintained would be the circle. She points to the big circle that's taking up most of the skyline in the background. Generator keeps the city turning. All this water, as she gestures to the lake, drips down from above. Turns the wheel. Wheel powers the city and us. She tugs at the pendant on her necklace.
Which is over from Come Together to Proud Mary's baseline.
About this time, I think a couple of the Asapu return with fish in their mouths. Come up onto the dock, and just they're eating them, right? They're not handing them over. They're just ripping the fish's guts out with their mandibles and just chewing on them and then clittering at each other.
I
this
would
makes
like
it messy.
to get one's attention.
Sure, you do that. Stops eating.
And then just how many fish would you say they caught?
I don't know, roll me 2d6. Four fish.
She's going to hold out her hand and is it Zaya? Was that the guy's daughter's name?
I think so, yeah.
She's going to hold up her hand for 2 and hold out her other hand and almost place it here. I need 2 fish.
Okay. Yeah, she gives you 2 fish that have bite marks on them. So a little bit nibbled on.
I'm gonna fucking put it in the bucket.
Hey, it's edible.
It's edible. Did my job.
Yeah, so you put the fish in the bucket, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, she just kind of stares at you as you take these half-eaten fish and put them in the bucket.
You didn't specify how intact they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of nods.
The kid that was working on the boat a little bit further down, has he just been diligently working on it, or has he been peeking over at us too?
I mean, he peeks over. He peeked over a little bit, but he definitely seems like most of his attention is on this little tiny raft, that he's tending to, and the raft is sort of tied off on the dock with a long kind of piece of nylon or something like that, or silken rope maybe.
Okay.
And
He's gonna go over to him.
Yeah. You approach the kid. He
Still
he's-
carrying Watcher.
Do what?
Still carrying the robot.
All right, yeah. So you got this little robot on you, and as you walk up to the kid, he seems to be like tending the sort of like little bits of fungus that are growing on this little raft. Again, there's no place to like stand on the raft. It's basically just like a 3x3 square of like a planter. And he kind of like looks up at you, and he does double take as he sees the robot. And he kind of like starts and furrows his brow a little bit and goes back to the messing with the raft.
Kiddo, what you doing?
Yeah, he says, this is my inheritance task. I'm trying to make sure it grows right. It's gonna be bigger eventually. I know it's not much, but we're gonna add to it. And my parents say if I can take care of this batch, then I should be able to make it bigger.
How old are they?
The fungus?
The kid.
Oh, the kid's probably like 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
Little old boy.
How long you been working on it?
He says, I only just got it a few lapses ago. Not even a full cycle yet. It's kind of hard to make sure that the power stays plugged in all the time. That's the biggest thing I'm running into. There's not enough open lines here. He says, seems like all the creatures in the water are cutting into them. As soon as you find one, it only stays a live line for a few hours at best, it seems. Constant work and attention. My parents say that that's the point. That one day all that work and maintenance will pay off. We'll see what we can do. I've heard that there's breeds of fungus that can do incredible things.
Like what?
Like heal wounds, and there's a legend that there's one that can even restore the dead.
Cool.
Those ones are always really hard to find.
I'd snoop them up if they could.
Yeah, he nods. He says, well, what do you think I should do about if I wanted to grow the raft? I gotta find something that floats right, I think. He's like, do you know what I should use?
Dank looks over. Do you got like water jugs?
Yeah, he's basically like got like bits of plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, like pontoons. Essentially, you just need something with enough buoyancy.
Yeah.
He starts like describing how to better build like a pontoon flotilla.
Yeah, he says, well, I've only got a few cycles, I think. I've got to get it big enough to carry me, and well, maybe by then my slicer will be big enough to tow it, but well, hopefully
Maybe a thick rubber?
Rubber wouldn't really help that much with the buoyancy.
Like an inner tube.
Yeah, but you couldn't really build a platform on that and have the same kind of stability. And I'd assume rubber would be kind of hard to come by. Whereas plastics are really malleable and easy to find commodity in a lot of places.
yeah, the kid's like listening to you kind of intently, and then he turns around, like looks at you for the first time, kind of, and he says, "Where's your?" And he like taps at his chest. "You're a lock to." And he like pulls out from under his collar a little pendant, just like the lady was wearing, with a little glowing piece of fungus in it. And then he kind of frowns at you. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to talk to strangers."
Smart kid. Fair enough. Well, nothing
just
wrong
gonna-
with listening to strangers. You don't have to talk to us per se, but
He suddenly seems like a little uncomfortable with your presence. Like just a little put off by you.
just bear it in mind, yeah? Best of luck with your efforts.
Yeah, he kind of nods, frowns a little bit, but he nods and he says, "Thank you."
Cassidy's gonna dig in her pockets, pull out her last waddle duck that she's willing to give away, because I have 2 left. She's gonna set it on the dock by his little float and go, "This is as a thank you."
What is it?
Before getting her waddle duck toys.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah,
The
that's
little
right.
clockwork toys, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Before getting up and going back to the group.
Play
Yeah.
my morale boost thing real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so he waits until you like turn around to check it out, but he definitely seems really interested in the little toy. He kind of like winds it up and like kind of plays with it for a second, kind of laughs before he like tucks it into one of his pockets. But he tries to wait and do this when you're not watching. I think like he kind of ignores it until you like turn around and start walking back, and I think probably Dank, you see him do that.
Grin a bit as I keep just playing on the guitar and walk back to the rest of the group.
So he's gonna lean over to Weight Watcher. I think he liked it.
Yeah,
Let's say that she probably heard the kids giggle with it.
Yeah, like Waywatcher probably plays the recording of the kid giggling and is like,
I would think that's an affirmative.
She's gonna pat Weight Watcher's top as she goes back to the group.
yeah, I think from here we jump over to Derrin, Enigma, Udaya, and Shalim as they're walking through a crowd of people. Let me get her out of the way. Let me do this. I've got a screen we can use for this. Here we go. Boom. And let me pull you guys over to the screen. So we fade over to you guys who are sort of like walking through the streets, crowded streets.
I think I'm still on my knees.
You had collapsed to your knees and was like, finally civilization!
Oh, yeah,
civilization!
Okay. That's right, yeah.
And Enigma was looking at you like he grew a second head.
Yeah, that's fine.
What the bruh is happening?
Yeah, so
You have no idea.
Yeah, and Shalim is like, come on, get up. We have to go meet with the wisefolk council. Now's not the time.
Fine.
He looks
Gets
over.
up, dusts himself off.
Yeah, we see him look over at Udaya. Yeah, as you guys look around like a crowd of people, everyone's mostly wearing like road-worn like hides and silks, tattered clothes. There's people in the crowd walking by like smoking pipes and sort of like staring at you. I think you probably noticed that most people you pass have a necklace on with a little light pendant on it. and they vary in like intensity and like size, like the mushroom inside. But all of them at least have a faint glow at the very least. And yeah, you guys like walk by some buildings where you hear like a low bass music playing. Maybe you see like smoke coming out of some of the openings in the doors. There are vendors. There's people like selling fish or whatever, different foods, all that kind of stuff. What are you guys doing as you move through the crowd?
So where did you say we're going again? Kind of says this as we're moving, kind of curious about what in the world is going to go on.
Yeah, Shalim says, Wisefolk Council, we're supposed to introduce ourselves upon arrival. Most strangers
Is that where
do.
we get those little necklaces?
He nods. Locktu, they call them. It's supposed to symbolize person's commitment to like preservation. What's the local word for it, Udaya? It means like the idea of life and care. Anyways, in the flooded countries, these sort of beliefs take the form of a small crystal or bit of blue fungal growth in it. It's
what would make some of them more or less bright than others?
well, he says, well, it's how well you maintain it. See the necklace itself, it's like a functional power cable. You can detach it and charge it in a power line to feed some power to the fungus inside. That's how you care for it. Locals tend to distrust strangers that don't bother to carry a healthy-looking fungus, or don't carry one at all.
Huh. I mean, I guess culturally it makes sense. Still a little strange. So you just charge it with electricity and it's good then? That seems rather easy to do.
Yeah, he nods and he says, you know, you might think so, but power can be quite a rare commodity down here, even in Nataku. But work sort of for the greater good is a big part of the Kamu culture. It's everyone is in it together or something like that, they say.
Enigma's just nodding along.
Yeah, I would imagine Enigma's like, wow, this is like home or something. Or like it makes a lot of sense.
Just like fully relaxed in this whole situation, just like kind of like, oh yeah, this is all familiar to me.
Yeah, so you guys are like walking through the crowd and you see as he's like explaining this to you, you see like everyone you pass is looking for your necklace. Like their eyes go straight to where the pendant would be hanging. And you know, they don't see it. So most people just kind of get out of your way. One big looking dude who's smoking a pipe, shoulder checks you hard as you guys walk by, and like stops and turns and watches you.
I will turn towards him and kind of, I don't know, have I seen anybody like do anything that is like apologetic body language before?
What do you mean?
Like I was thinking of like, you know, in some places, in some cultures, it's like if that happens, you like apologize by like a quick bow, not necessarily like saying you're sorry, but like
Like
yeah,
a head
making
nod
a
kinda thing.
gesture or something like that.
Yeah, I think most people would. This guy doesn't. Like, he's staring right at you. Like, if you look at him, he goes, "Watch where you're fucking going," and like blows smoke in your face.
Beat his
My
ass,
apologies, it's my
Derrin.
first time here.
He's bald. He's got like this tattoo over his eye, right? And he just like breathes a bunch of crotch in your face.
I just stare at him. My apologies, it's my first time here. I would think you would give everybody a first chance.
He squints at you. And then this smaller guy comes up and like taps him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Come on, walk to. It's not worth the trouble." He like tugs him, and he like squints. His shoulder gets moved by his friend tugging on his shoulder. He just kind of stares.
Have
at
a
you
good
for moment.
cycle.
Yeah, and he turns and he just keeps walking, and then they both walk off. You hear the smaller guy like muttering something to him, like, "Look, can you not cause a scene with outsiders? We don't need the bad reputation," something like that. As they're like walking off. Shalim watches this exchange, and he says, "Yeah, some people don't take to outsiders so well. All the more reason to get to the Wisefolk Council, I think."
Oh, there's people like that everywhere. Doesn't bother me.
All right. So you guys keep walking. Eventually, you'd find yourselves getting closer to the Wisefolk Council. Let me show you on the city map where it is. It's sort of like this awning area here. Boom. And what you find is like this big awning. There's a huge crowd gathering underneath it by the time you guys get there. There's like a bunch of people gathering around like a central like stage. And there's people like murmuring. There's kind of like an excitement in the crowd. It's like people are pressing in shoulder to shoulder to get a look at like some kind of show that's going like to be happening on this stage.
Seems a little busy.
Yeah. And the awning itself is made of like melted and repurposed material from the past 4 convoys. And so you guys like approach into the stage, and we see somebody come out onto the stage and start to address the crowd. It seems to be an older person by the sound of their voice. They're wearing like long robes and a hood, so you can't really like, see their face. And because of the crowd of people, there's like a smoke, like a sort of haze in the air from all the people like puffing craj. And you hear like people like, "There's new refugees in town." Like you hear the crowd, people like talking about rumors that they're hearing. "Oh, I hear that there's some new crowd that they're welcoming into the city," and all this stuff. Person comes out and starts to address the crowd. It seems to be we'll be welcoming some outsiders, some new folk to our city in the next few minutes. We hope you all enjoy. And the crowd kind of like starts to build up in conversation again. I do have a screen for this. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me do this and pull you guys over here. It looks something like this. As you guys sort of like make your way into the crowd. Shalim
Cool. Cult leader vibes.
Yeah, it's definitely got a bit of a weird vibe to it. Shalim says, that's odd. It seems they're getting ready for us, or maybe part of our caravan. Maybe
Or someone that came before us.
Yeah, he nods. As you guys like make your way into the crowd, you see somebody come up out of the crowd. The guy on the stage like talks quietly. He's addressing somebody that's like right around the stage, and then he like reaches out a hand and pulls someone up onto the stage. And
Can I hear what they were talking about?
Make a roll.
I have trained hearing. What was it? Hold on.
I think that would
it's
apply.
level 3, but yeah, trained ear.
Yeah, I think that would apply. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, forgot to get my actual full sheet out to let me roll properly. Okay.
A savvy success. Okay. What you hear them saying is, all right, the time is here. Introduce yourself to the city. And then the guy in the crowd says, are you sure? It seems like you're putting me on the spot. And the guy on the stage says, well, there's a free meal in it for you if you just go along with it. Try and evoke a feeling of peace. And he kind of like grins. And the guy nods. So apparently they've worked out some kind of arrangement. Definitely seems like...
I say sideways to Enigma, we may have something going on here. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Always am.
So yeah, he pulls the guy up on the stage. And the man in the robe says, well, young ones, we're here to welcome a new member to our community. Hailing from Charchamash and in search of allies and friends in a dark and dangerous part of Nibiru, I bring you... Let's see what the guy's name is. I'm going to roll a random name. Iram Rico is his name. E-R-U-M space R-I-K-O. And he says, Iram here is a retired diplomat. Shalim, so you hear Shalim kind of like under his breath, like, oh, God. And he says, hailing from Suruptu, of all places. Iram, would you like to tell the crowd what brings you to Nataku? And Iram like starts to speak up. So like one thing you would notice is their voice is carrying really well. They're not using like technology like megaphones or microphones or anything like that. Something about
more just like the construction of the area.
Exactly. Yeah, the acoustics of the area. So he like stammers and like struggles to find his words for a moment, and he says, well, as you all know, the Arku have had a sort of checkpoint set up. I used to help manage that and to, keep tensions at bay between the people of the countries and the people of Charchamash. And when my tenure came to an end, I couldn't think of a place I would rather spend my retirement than the wonderful city of Nataku and all its hard-working people. He kind of like gives a bow, and the crowd is like loving it, right? They're eating it up. They're like, yeah, we are hardworking people. What's up? This guy's like us. He's a hardworking person like us. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on, right? And he says, I understand that your council has been very concerned about the lack of water coming from above to feed the circle. And while the Arku may hold the keys to the salvation of Nataku, I want to assure you all that the price will not be too high, that as long as we hold room for our Archaean brothers and sisters to have a place of refuge here in Nataku, the trade will continue. And there's like a couple people like cheering, and he says, and that means the flow of batteries, of supplies, medicine. All you have to do is continue to keep your word, and I know the good people of Nataku can do that. And he like The crowd's like, "Yay, peace with the Arku," you know, all that stuff. And then there's and you know, the old guy comes back and goes, "Thank you, Iram. I would like to give you your gift of an Alaktu. Make sure you take care of it well, my friend. And welcome to the city of Nataku." And he like presents him with his necklace. The guy like puts it over his neck for him, and you know, it's like really bright too. Like he gives him like a really good one. And yeah, he's like all proud of it and showing it off. And there's like people cheering in the crowd and like, "Yeah, he's one of us," or whatever. What are you all doing as this clearly like a show? It's like watching like a propaganda piece, right? Like to sort of get people to accept Arku influence and culture is going on. What are you all doing?
Amateur hour.
Yeah.
I do so love watching it.
Shalim.
Still, there's really only room for one of us here, so I think that's going to have to stop.
It's like, what do you mean amateur hour? Think that was rehearsed?
Oh, definitely. Although he's not doing a very good job.
Perhaps we find ourselves a different envoy then. Maybe there's another member of the council who's more honest who can do our ceremony. He's like looking through
I
the
suppose
crowd.
we could talk to them first. I'm up to finding out what's going on.
Yeah, he nods. He says, Udaya, keep an eye out for someone wearing, and he like gestures to the guy's robes on stage as the guy's like waving to the crowd. He like turns to the side and you see like a symbol on the arm of his robes. Should denote council member. See if we can find someone in the crowd. And Udaya kind of nods as they start scanning the crowd. You do the same.
Can I look as well? Yeah.
Yeah. Make a roll.
Attention to detail, intuition, nonverbal communication. I think they would be there since they're people in power. They would probably be holding themselves different from others.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
All right. Savvy success. Okay. Oh, there you go.
No, there we go.
Damn.
So, whichever of those skills that you just used, if you can increase one of them, I'll let you pick which one you want to.
Would you mind if I make one a little more fit for the task?
If you want to.
Yeah, people watching.
Okay. I think that's good. Critical success rule of 3. So, I'll describe a couple of people that you see that match the sort of description of council member. Let's see here. So you see an older woman, whitish hair. She's wearing a similar robe to what the guy on the stage is wearing. Same symbol on the side of it. She's also using like a walking cane that she's kind of like almost got like tucked under her sleeves, but it's propping her up. And she's staring at this guy with an angry look on her face. You might describe it as a miffed, no bullshit look. And let's see here.
That one's probably a good choice.
Yeah, she does have some like you get a look under her wrist where she's like holding onto her cane. You see some kind of device on her wrist. And she has a bit of sour demeanor about her. Like you see her giving this guy like a mean look, but it's more than that. It's
yeah, I can work with that.
Let's see
Yeah,
here.
let's sidle on up to that person, I think.
All right. So you approach her. What do you all say? She's like watching the guy on stage as you guys like shouldering your way through the crowd over there.
Well, first I start kind of as we're going there. I start if the crowd's still like clapping or anything.
Yeah, like I think the crowd, like once the guy stops talking, most of the people in the crowd are talking amongst themselves about what just happened, right? So there's a lot of excitement. There's some people are like passing little drinks around or pipes, crotch pipes, and they're just like talking to each other about what just happened. Like, oh, this means a good future for our relationship with the Arku. This is great. We're bringing in more Archaean influence into Nataku. This is gonna be a good thing. So there's a lot of like rumor talking going on. This lady, however, once he stops talking and leaves the stage, she just kind of stares up at the empty space on the stage, kind of intensely. And then her eyes pan across the crowd, but she doesn't talk to anybody. She just watches everyone.
I'll approach her quietly and kind of get a little bit close. Like, just that closeness to where it's like, you can feel that somebody's going to engage you in conversation if somebody gets that close to you.
Yeah. So, like, as you guys approach, she, like, tilts her head back. And
I'm still kind of keeping my eye on the stage as I'm heading closer to her.
Yeah, she watches you approach. And she says, as you kind of like get within speaking range where you can comfortably like hear each other, she says, I can't help but notice you don't have, and she like gestures to her alaktu, her necklace, which is particularly...
I don't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's mostly the reason we were coming over here. Although, it was a great performance, wasn't it?
She frowns, like, very obviously. Like, she gives you a look of, like, that was... I hated it. I hated all of that.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It was awful, but I mean, it's fun to watch the amateurs work.
Yeah, she says yes. Amateurs. Not sure what he's up to with this one, but I suppose...
Oh, I imagine trying to make the brain. I just completely forgot what they're called. Arku. Trying to make the Arku look better, I'm sure.
Yeah, she kind of like makes a face like she smelled something bad.
And take all the things that you all have worked so hard for.
Yeah, now she kind of like bows slightly at you, and she says, I'm sorry, you're not from here. She kind of like waits.
No,
like,
I'm not.
Care to introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Derrin, and I hope to be here for a little bit longer. So, of course, I was hoping that I could have one of those so that I could show that I am wanting to be here.
So, you're looking for someone whose trust you can earn. She like
I'm looking for someone that is looking for the same thing I am. I don't necessarily think anybody should trust one another without means.
She kind of squints at you. She looks to your left and right at your friends, and she says, my name is Isla. Izla. Here you go.
A pleasure to meet you.
She
nods and introduces himself.
Yeah, okay. Good. Now that we have pleasantries out of the way, I'm one of the youngest members of the council. I found my success in finding the lost Archaean convoy 10 cycles ago. So, I do know a bit about how the Arku work.
Or don't, as the case may be.
Or don't, as the case may be. Now, you could so easily see through that facade, that show they put on. How? Why?
Well, it takes one to know one.
And what brings you to our vault?
Well, at the most part, or at this point, mostly survival.
Survival.
The survival of whole communities.
Did you all happen to come in with these? Well, I suppose they're calling them refugees from the Sorrows?
That's correct.
Hmm. And would you care to tell me what exactly is going on with that group? Why so many people from the Sorrows flood Nataku?
Well, there's a variety of reasons. This may take a while if you want the full story, but in general, there was some issues that happened with supply, and demand was going to be that they give or die.
So you're saying that the farmers are fleeing the Sorrows?
What farmers there are left.
Hmm. That is concerning. It means tensions will soon be on the rise with the Arku, unlike this show here would have you believe.
They're probably just either uninformed or they know what's going to happen and are trying to get ahead of the news. After all, once you think something of someone, it's a little hard to change that.
She nods. Well, here it is tradition to introduce yourselves to the council when you arrive in our city, of course. I'm sure you know that. She looks at Shalim, who kind of like bows slightly, like ever so perceptibly bows. And she says, and of course, it's tradition if we find a suitable new member for the council member to invite them over for a meal. So, how would you like to join me at my home for some fresh cooked fish? We can exchange news, tales. I'll give you sponsorship. Provide you with your alaktu.
I would be honored.
She kind of like bows slightly, and she pulls up a device on her wrist, a stab tracker, if you will. She like rolls up her sleeve, and she says, "Do you have something to keep track of the location?"
I have a rather good memory of locations, but nothing with me, unfortunately.
She nods. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out like a small square of metal and like a sharpened implement, and scratches a essentially address into it. It's in the markets district, near the shops and things, but she gives you like her home address basically, and she says, well, if you all would like to meet here for dinner, you're welcome to bring friends. Who else might represent your group that just came through our gates? We could have
There's quite a
discussion.
few, actually. Besides us, there's around 4 more.
She nods. Are they all from the Sorrows?
Yes.
Good. I would like to hear the truth of what's going on out there, as opposed to the lies our other council members seem so keen to tell.
Or at least propagate.
She nods. She says, are any of your friends lost souls?
Do I get what she means by that? Because I'm pretty sure I do, but...
Yeah, I feel like you probably. I mean, this is definitely like reading between the lines. She's asking if you got vagabonds with you.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to pick up on that.
Yeah. I kind of. I don't really know about Shalim and Udaya, so I'm going to kind of give a quick kind of look. Not that they can see, but kind of so this person can kind of see. I think a few of us have been lost for a while.
She kind of leans in and blinks, and for a moment, her eyes look obsidian black. Like maybe it's the way the light hits them. You're not sure, but there's a moment where it looks like instead of a pupil and iris in her eyes, like both of her eyes are just solid black. And then she says, well, I think those who are in most need of refuge will find that Nataku is a safe place.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, she says, I'll see you at close of lapse tomorrow.
Perfect. It was wonderful meeting you.
You as well. Derrin, Enigma, was it?
Yes.
She like bows. Shalim. And your name. And Udaya's like, Udaya, ma'am. She like shakes her hand. Well, I look forward to having a more in-depth conversation. You all enjoy.
Likewise.
Yeah, she nods. She says, enjoy the festivities. I'm sure there will be much carousing going on tonight.
With that sort of speech, I can believe that.
Yeah, she nods, kind of bows to each of you, and slinks back into the crowd, disappearing like amongst the chattering people and the smoke.
Clap my hands together. Wonderful. I think I have an informant.
Shalim says, what do you mean, informant? It seems more like she wants to be informed by us.
Oh, yes, but sharing information is always the best way to get it yourself.
Perhaps.
Give and take.
Yes. Okay. Good. We should maybe find the others. Let them know we've got sponsorship.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Stop them from wandering off too far.
Do you think they found a way in?
Oh, my bet is yes.
All right. Maybe we fade over to the rest of the group. What's going on with the rest of you guys right now?
Fishing activities, I suppose, and then I guess we'd either. Well, I think we'd head either to like the fish market or the inn.
The boy clammed up before I could ask what I wanted.
Well, we don't have the special necklace that lets people know we're not crazy homeless murderers.
Yeah, we don't have the pearl necklace yet.
Oh wait, aren't we crazy homeless murderers?
Yeah, but the necklace is
No.
we aren't.
Right.
Yeah,
Some of us are, but we gotta make them think we aren't.
We gotta figure out a way to somehow get those and what the hell they actually are. Unless I completely missed the part where he explained what they are.
You missed
You
it.
did.
You completely just
Yeah.
missed that. And you
Bro,
were
again-
actually here for it too.
Brain is running at like 1 frame a second.
You need to download more RAM.
Oh, bro.
Here, I'm gonna...
These necklaces pretty much determine whether you're a citizen or not, and if you don't have them, they are less likely to trust you.
Okay.
Also,
kind of
yay!
figured
I
that
finished
by
the journal
concept.
page.
Good.
And
good
how
deal.
brightly they glow depicts how good of a person you are.
So the shinier you bling, the better of a person you are.
All right. Thank you, Dan, for
Apparently.
dumbing it down a little bit.
There you go.
Or at the very least, the better you take care of it, right? Like somebody who is like somebody could make themselves look like a really good person by taking good care of this thing, right? Like that might be a thing to keep in mind too.
Or
Like
getting somebody else to.
yeah,
So
like
if somebody's stuff is too shiny, they're probably an asshole.
I don't know, it's hard to say, right? Like
No.
Like the politician who just got christened.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
common man wouldn't have like an outrageously shiny necklace.
right, yeah. Because it would take too much power to keep it that
Exactly.
maintained.
So it's like, the wealthy people would have the really shiny ones, and the average everyday person who, probably wouldn't have the means to backstab you would have a more respectable normal glow, whereas seedy bad people might have one that's like completely dead or dark. Or not have one at all. And that makes us look like bad people.
We should totally find some of those.
Yeah, gotta
Is
get
it like a
some
black
ones.
market?
I'm pretty sure they just give them to new arrivals, except we didn't arrive by normal means.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there might be like a black market or something. I don't know, maybe, but basically, it shows to a lot of people, it's like, are you really part of the community? It's
What
kinda
is
how
the
it
spear
is.
lady's name?
The spear lady's name?
Yeah,
I don't know if I ever gave it.
I don't
You
think you
didn't.
did.
Let's see. Let's generate one for
Spear lady.
No.
That's her name.
I want to see what random name she gets. Okralo. Okay.
Cray.
Here, I got you.
I'm just gonna call her okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I hate you.
Like you know the meme. Yeah, it's just like okay.
You're always coming up with some punk ass nickname. I'm so sorry.
Thank you for putting
Well-
that in the chaos channel, Dank.
You're
what?
I guess I could ask Okralo since she's still talking to us. I was
It's
just hoping
better
to
than
get
what
to
I
know the
thought of
kid.
at first. It was like, oh, just call her Oreo.
You know what? I like that better.
Oh man, I've been missing out on the chaos memes today.
I have too. I haven't been
You do every
posting
week.
as much.
There's so many. All right, so just a reminder, our Discord's public. You can check out the Discord. I will link it.
It is.
Are we
I'll-
sure that it should be though?
Like it's the chaos.
Yes.
Yeah,
You come in knowing what to expect.
So if you guys want to jump into the Discord sometime, you can do so here. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description down below. All right.
Chaos.
So you guys
Yes.
were doing fishing activities,
And getting high.
and you said
playing
you,
guitar.
you'd either go
playing-
to the Fisher's Market or the inn, maybe, is what you were saying.
I think it would be smart to acquire the necklaces before we go to the market.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because with how societal standing works here, we'd probably either get ripped off or chased out.
Or both.
Or
Or both.
Okay. I think it would make sense if the groups bumped into each other at the end, because I feel like Shalim with Enigma and Wolf and Derrin would be like, okay, well, we're meeting tomorrow. Maybe let's get a room at the inn. We'll try to figure out a way to contact the other people or something like that.
Before we leave, Cassidy's gonna look at Okralo and go, do you know of any empty workshops?
Empty workshops. She would say, well, there would be a few in the market, I'm sure. Things that just are in disuse. Abandoned warehouses, perhaps. She says, are you looking to find something you can rent or use? Sorry, did you answer?
She said yeah.
Yeah, she would say, there's bound to be something in the markets that's open for use. A lot of things have been sort of abandoned recently. Might help to be a part of the community first.
Of course.
Get yourselves an Alaktu, maybe. Put you in better standing. You might even get a better deal on the place.
Sounds like a plan.
But it's good to know if there's at least the market's open before spending the time looking.
Yeah, she nods and she says, fishing is one of our top industries, skills for people of Nataku. If you're looking for me, you can find me either at this stall. She gives you like the location of Fisher's stall in the market, or my home nearby. She'll give you a location of her home. And she'll say, is there anything I can help you find? Do you need direction to an inn or the tower that I mentioned previously?
Maybe we could check out the inn first.
Yeah, we'll check out the inn and acquire some lodging there. See about getting our Krelu, and then go from there. We'll more than likely stop by the tower later just to see how things are going over that way.
All right. Cool. So here's a question, Derrin and Enigma. If Shalim was directing you all to maybe head to the inn, would you do that, or would you be trying to go somewhere else?
Well, we'd be trying to look for them, but I don't think it'd be a bad idea to stop by the inn first.
Yeah, it seems like having a place to, knowing we have a place to stay for the night would be ideal.
Yeah. Let me see here. Okay. Ernest is also with you guys. I almost forgot. Okay. Let me pull you guys over here. So, I guess you all approach the inn. I think maybe you arrive around the same time. Let me see here. Is there any special stuff I gotta go over for the inn?
Now that they're in the city, Cassidy would have Waywatcher stop jamming.
Okay. Fair.
I don't think that would have a good. I don't think that would be a good thing to have him continue doing in the middle of a city.
Yeah, probably. All right. So, as you guys get further from the docks, you find a sort of slums area where buildings are haphazard put together from old scrap metal, and you come upon the Blackwater Inn. During Nataku's first cycles, the only reason my work ever stopped was to fill people's bellies with fried fish and seek tranquil sleep in DDMs. Both are conducted at the side of the Blackwater Inn. Now mostly dedicated to housing visitors and transients, the inn has been built, reworked, and redesigned over 13 times since its conception, with each time coinciding with an important event in the town's history, thereby cementing itself as a reminder of how far the people of Nataku have gone. So, big things going on at the inn. Sleep, DDM machines.
Fried fish.
Dried fish and fish eating.
Wait,
and
did you say dried or fried?
Fried.
Cool.
Yum.
There would also be dried fish, certainly. And
Food.
to smoke crotch. There's a lot of crotch smoking going on at the end, too.
I am snorting some of mine.
So we see you guys stroll up. There's like we see like a sign. It's like Blackwater Inn. Its lights are kind of like flickering. Nearby, there's someone like fishing off the dock, just in a random pool of water. And yeah, we see the open door. We hear like a bit of music, sounds of crowd coming out of the building, and some smoke sort of pouring out of the door and into the air above the inn. As you all approach, you see your friends. You guys bump into each other in the alley as the group of you are approaching at the same time.
Before we go too far, I just want everybody to realize I got my revelation for essentially free.
Not a bad deal.
I got it to where it discounted it all the way to 1, and my other revelation allowed me to get a memory point, so I got it for free.
That's what's up.
Cassidy is gonna run up and give all 4 of them a big hug. She's happy to have them back.
Oh god, crushing! Ow!
Yes.
That moment of like, oh my god, have I actually really been introduced to the others yet, or is this a complete shock for Enigma?
Shock.
I think you probably met before they split up.
I demand
you did-
this to
Not
be a
really.
shock.
You did talk with them and all of us about going that way because you wanted to keep an eye on things.
Fair.
I mean, we didn't.
But I
we
don't know that
didn't,
you've
really
actually
talk.
been. Yeah, we've not even technically been very well introduced.
Yeah.
Also fair.
But it's more like she recognizes Enigma's face because Enigma chose to stay with Derrin, kind of thing.
Yeah, so you're kind of you feel like they're a part of it now.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
was
like-
very much like, well, okay then, and just like reaches out and kind of hugs you back.
You get used to it eventually.
It's been a long time since I've had one of these. It's nice.
Good, you kept him safe. Now I don't have to hurt you.
He's cute. I like to keep the cute ones safe. So are you, doll.
Oh, shameless flirting.
I don't know that I know how to deal with this.
No, Naela does not know how to deal with this.
You found her
Yes,
weakness.
Chaos.
It just holds up Way Watcher
Oh
to
god, chaos
to Enigma's
flirting.
face and it's like, isn't he adorable?
He's very precious. Might be the cutest of the lot.
Cassidy is like instantly friends with you.
I'm worried now.
Start jamming out the bass line from Space Cowboy.
Yes.
I need something to drink.
I need something to snort.
Both can probably be found inside.
I think it
Probably,
is
but
about
then I'd have
time
to
I
pay
need to
money.
make tea.
What'd you say, Maury?
Said I think it is about time to make the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
Better
Get
than tripping
used to
balls
it.
for the next 3 days.
This is correct, yes.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with riding out a wave, alright?
God damn it.
If you like that kind of thing, there's nothing wrong. But when
Oh,
you
I
don't
love it.
warn a person first,
Listen,
And when you
it
kind
was
of have
either
to get by with your brain.
Listen, it was either
Yeah.
that
Justin and
or
Nick
you
trying to
die.
spectate.
It's
I
either
mean,
that
I would
or you
rather
die.
not die, so I'm grateful for that, but also.
You're welcome. Shut your hole,
Peppermint
let's get
balls and
inside.
working with mechanics don't exactly
Shut your
mix.
hole, let's get inside and get drugs.
Enigma
Wolfy,
just
I
throws
love
arms
you.
around both of your shoulders and goes, let's be friends and let's go.
All right, so you guys walk into the inn, and just looking around, there's a bunch of people gathered, different tables. There's some people like playing different kinds of games, like cards or like throwing darts. There's a few people with drinks. There might even be some people having like a drinking contest up at like the bar. Out a back window, you can see the gardens area, which is sort of in like a courtyard nestled behind all these different like slum-like buildings, which are the inn itself, right? Like some of the buildings don't look like they match. They're still connected, but they're like built out of like different materials. And like even the floor in some places in the inn is just like uneven. Or there's like a step out of nowhere. Just because it wasn't all built at the same time, or it's like haphazard other buildings kind of mashed together to form the inn. And there's several floors to it. There's probably a few different staircases that go up in different directions, all made out of like repurposed, recycled, like scrap metal. And as you guys walk in, you see at the bar a woman who's like kind of like playing a flute, not like full on blowing into it, but just kind of like going through some notes, like pushing a little bit of air through it, kind of like absent-mindedly, while two people at the bar are like taking shots, basically. And then when they run out of drink, she puts the flute down for a second and like serves them up something else. And sort of looks at you guys as the group of you walk in. And there's probably like a few of those, like most of the inside of the place is lit up by like what are they called, like lantern lights or whatever, where there's like a wire that's sort of hanging over an area with like a few bulbs on it that just sort of droop down. Most of the place is probably lit up by like something like that. I forget what they're called. What are you guys doing as you walk in?
I'll go up to the bartender.
Yeah, okay. You take a seat at the bar.
I'll stay standing for the moment.
Okay. So, like walk up at the bar. She like holds the flute in one hand, and the barkeep says, "Hi, welcome to Blackwater. What can I help you with?"
Hi. I'm terribly sorry. We don't have, and I kind of gesture towards the necklace thing. We plan on getting them tonight, or tomorrow night, sorry. Would it be possible for us to stay here in the meantime?
Yeah, I suppose. Do you have credits?
Yes, I was just making sure that there, wasn't something that we had to do first.
Making sure there was a available vacancy.
I can dig up a couple rooms. Do you need DDM machines? She kind of like
that would be nice.
looks over at you all. She says, "Arku?" And then she kind of like
not quite.
and her eyes kind of settle on Naela, and she's like, "Well, not you or you." And she looks at Ernest.
And presumably Enigma.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. Enigma. She says, "Huh, kind of a mixed bag with your group, huh?"
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, welcome to the Blackwater. Everyone's welcome here. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you have to do. I'm assuming you can pay for your room. You should be fine. I'll talk to one of my people, see what we have available. If you guys want to wait here at the bar, you hungry? You thirsty? Need anything?
Heard we can work for our night.
You can, yes. We're offering
one hour's work in our gardens for a lapse currently. Not a bad deal.
Oh, that
Work
seems
need done?
interesting. I would try that.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with a little bit of manual labor.
Especially when it helps the people here.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very kind of you. My name's Azor, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, she nods. And then she like turns her head to the side and just like yells, right? Like she just like yells out. Let's see what the person she's yelling to's name is. Hey, it's Arak. It's Eric, but it's Arak.
Arak?
Hey, Ron.
Arak, yeah. Let's see here. So she's like, turns her head to the side and she's like, hey, Eric, I got a group of people that want to work, hours work in the gardens. And then you hear somebody from like the courtyard area. All right, I'll be in a minute. Give me a second. All right. Well, can I get you anything while you're waiting? That's, Eric, by the way. He's gonna be in charge of your tenure. What kind of skills do you guys have? You guys work with fungus before?
Yes.
Decent
Yeah, we
experience.
harvested.
Good. What about sparklings? Are you good with those?
I think one of us is probably okay with those. Looks towards Mori.
Those are the creatures, if I remember right.
Yeah, the flying
You
dude.
should be looking at Naela.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, sorry. I thought that was a engineering thing rather than a
No.
creature thing. I forgot.
No.
No.
Those are the things that those are the Pikachu things.
Yeah, the Pikachu things.
Oh, okay. So the shocked Pikachu things. Got it.
Yep. She
Yep.
goes, we
That's the spell
got a...
lettering.
Yeah, she's like, we have a albino group of them that stay in our gardens. Just try not to harass them, I guess. They probably won't really be interested in new people.
Okay.
Okay, well, if you guys
Can
worked
do.
with fungus before, you know the drill. You're probably gonna be maybe relocating a couple power lines, because the fungus needs power, right? We gotta keep that stuff flowing so the fungus keeps growing. So I'm not sure what Eric has for you guys, but it shouldn't take too long.
Need anything need repairing?
Oh, there's always something that needs repairing. Are you kidding me? Everything breaks down around here, and we only have so many new supplies and batteries coming in from Charchamish, so there's always machinery that needs work. You got any particular skill sets? Anything you specialize in? What kind of stuff have you worked on?
I'm a bit of a mechanic. I like to be a jack of all trades when it comes to electronics, though.
Oh, mechanics and electronics. Well, that's interesting. Where'd you pick up that skill from?
I mean, things are
Around.
always breaking in the Sorrows as well.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
guys from the Sorrows?
Yes. Just got here.
Oh, okay. Well, what brings you to Nataku all the way from Sorrows?
Survival.
Well, yeah.
I've heard it's kind of tough out there. You guys pay a lot of tax, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that gets old fast. I mean, we just have to take care of our upkeep. We try to help out the council if we can here and there. Maybe a few of the different groups. There's always a few of us trying to help out at the tower. But man, paying tax to the Arku, that's really got to sting, especially when all they do is get in your way.
Now, what
Naela
was the tower?
starts visibly grinding her teeth.
It's not been easy.
What'd you say, Wolfy?
What was the tower you talked about?
Oh, the Tower of Merrick. It's big obelisk-looking thing out by the docks. Can't really miss it. It's like a safe haven for vagabonds, that kind of thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the city is pretty welcome to them.
you know, they actually keep a record there of every vagabond that comes through Nataku. They keep it protected, though, from what I understand. So don't. It's not a huge deal. It's not like the Covenant can go in there and just find anybody's records. They keep it protected. I think they're a little wary of Trader Ken, you know.
I mean, yeah, I can guess.
But if there's somebody you guys are looking for, or, well, you guys vagabonds by chance?
Dank, what was the name of that guy that we were looking for?
Yeah, we're looking for OAB. He's
I like how we're just avoiding this question too.
That's exactly what I was gonna do too.
Yep.
Oab. Is he a vagabond?
He's a maker.
It's a
I don't
funny...
think so. He's a
funny-
guy who does a lot of work with his hands.
Oh, a maker, like some kind of artisan. What does he work
Yeah.
Things that go
Mechanics.
boom.
Electronics, firearms.
on? So we're in the market for firearms, huh?
Well, he does other things too. Mostly we're in the market for like transportation. Yeah, there's other ways to get around besides the local wildlife.
Or
Yeah,
walking.
I
God,
mean-
walking.
Well,
If
walking's
you don't do
one,
combustion engines right, they do go boom.
yeah. And I suppose maybe sometimes it's easier to make a hole in a wall instead of walking around it. Don't do that here, please. I just fixed these
Noted.
walls.
Doors
No.
exist for a reason.
Oh, definitely not. There's no one here where we want to do that.
Okay, well, I'll ask around about Oab, you said? Kind of a strange name. Maybe...
We finally got to a decent sized settlement. Some people are way too happy to be here. And she's like looking over at Derrin.
I am not looking at you in the slightest.
Well,
If I ignore it, it's not happening.
Is that how it works?
Generally, yes, I've found.
okay. Well, I'll see if maybe Eric knows something about this OAB, or, feel free to ask any of the patrons here. I might ask a few of my employees too while I'm at it. Before I step away from it, do you guys need anything to drink or anything like that?
Something
Yeah,
to snack on wouldn't be amiss.
All right. She like reaches behind the bar, pulls out like a bowl, and then she opens up like a refrigeration unit, and pours like some blue fungus into the bowl, like little chunks of like some blue fungus. And she says, "They're pretty good snack. Enjoy. And if you need
What?
something, just yell. I'll be right out this window. I'm gonna go see what's taking Eric so long."
Oh, do you mind if I ask what that instrument you were playing before was?
Oh, it's called a flute. You never seen one
Right,
before?
and we're
It's pretty simple. You just like a pipe with holes in it. You push air through it. It makes noise. then-
got it. All right.
I've been trying to learn how to play it for a while. I'm not very musically inclined, though, is the thing. And I don't know. There's something familiar about it, but I don't know.
I'm gonna play My Heart Will Go On, but on bass, and see if she can like play it by ear.
Okay. So make a roll, I guess.
Alright.
See how well you play it.
It's see if you could play something kind of like this, and then he let me make that roll real quick to make sure it's not garbage. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use an influence point to not have that be trash. Let's try that again.
You don't want the negative memory?
No, man, like that's awful.
There's no way.
Oh my god!
There's no way.
How do you?
That's
get...
impossible.
Apparently not, dude.
No, man, no. I'm gonna use my
Please!
last one. I can't. Come on. There's no way.
Oh,
Hey,
thank
there
goodness.
you go. All right, savvy success. All right.
Oh, thank God.
Let's see how
Seriously,
well.
3 times
I
in a
mean-
row would be a bit much.
That would give you a discount on your revelation, though. But
Let's see how well she picks up on it. Oh, she got a critical
There we
success.
go.
So she
nice.
she recognizes the song, is what it is.
Oh.
Like she
Oh,
immediately
shit.
knows the song that you're playing, and
Oh,
she's
that's disturbing.
She's
And
gotta be a
starts-
Brightlander.
playing along. Yeah. And now that you mention it, you get a better look at the flute, and it's made out of some strange, like obsidian kind of metal. It looks.
Ah, she is a Brightlander.
Yeah, yeah.
Not many people remember the melodies from home.
Yeah, she kind of gives you a nod, and she says, "I couldn't help but notice that your instrument, the material looks kind of familiar."
Yeah, it's ooh. Back then this would have been considered rather expensive.
She nods. Yeah, same with this. Mine's different, darker, but there's a couple other things like it that I've found that just make me feel,
At home?
yeah.
She's a vagabond and she doesn't realize it, or is she just playing that way? Can I get a read on her and see if she's like
Like an insight check?
actually in on that, or if
Yeah,
she's like
yeah. Make her roll.
nonverbal insight?
Can I do
People
it too?
watching?
I have observation.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of you guys can make rolls if you guys want to make a roll. Check this lady out. You can do it.
I have something I want to do, but I would like to do this later.
I'll take a regular success.
It just straight goes over Cassidy's head.
Yeah. She is a vagabond, a Brightlander. She just seems to be being honest, but she's the reason she's kind of being a little off with it, like she's not full on saying it, or like she's trying. It seems like she's kind of trying not to put Dank on the spot. Like she's not trying
Okay.
to draw attention to him necessarily. She doesn't know how comfortable he would be to like talk about it, so she's just sort of like hinting at it that way.
Got it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it was like, oh, do we have to help this person like realize that they are, or is there something else? Okay.
No. She just doesn't know if you feel safe. I mean, given that you guys aren't really like don't have your necklaces yet, like who knows how trusting you'd be.
All right.
But by the way, she does have a necklace on too, and it's quite well
Right. It is.
maintained.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, she nods and she says, I used to have more instruments like this one. It's been cycles now. I used to travel around Penumbra with my friends. We had a band, you might call it. You'll hear some of our songs playing over the speakers here from time to time.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to travel together. We even gotten a few scraps here and there, well, unfortunately, disaster struck, and most of them didn't make it out. So I retired, and now I run this inn. It was sort of left to me.
Well,
Oh,
it
man.
seems an interesting place.
Well, I'll be on the lookout for any other instruments like the one you've got there.
Thanks. I'll do the same for you.
Much obliged.
She like steps away out the back door, and you hear like as soon as she like gets out the back door, she's like yelling, "Eric, what's taking you so long?" Like she's like just. All right. while she's out there yelling at Eric, a person approaches you all as you're like sitting there eating your mushroom snacks at the bar. He's got a pipe in his hand, and he says, "Hey, new faces. Can I interest any of you in some crush while you're waiting?"
Yeah.
God.
All eyes go to Naela.
They don't even have to.
Yeah, so he like takes out his pipe, maybe he like knocks it on the counter and packs like a fresh material in there, and says, "My name's how do you say that? Albra? Albra?
Albra? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I've been staying here at the Blackwater for a while. What brings you all in?"
Hell, bro.
Ale, bro.
That's what brings us in.
He says, "I can't help but notice you don't. Are any of you from Nataku? Or what'd you say?
No.
You said the Sorrows, right?"
Yeah, Sorrows.
Yes.
That's what he says, like he was listening to your conversation.
That's not.
It's a small place. It's fine.
And he says, "Yeah, sorry, I couldn't help it over here. I'm a friend of Asor's, and well, it's just that you don't all look like you're from the Sorrows. You follow me?"
You know,
Oh, yeah.
circumstances change.
This
People move.
We came from.
Yeah,
the
no. We're a weird party. We realize this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says.
Also, do you have anything that won't like cause hallucinations, but still do the job?
I mean, I might be able to scrounge something up. What are you looking for?
Until this
Just-
evening, I can make some
Just the
tea.
normal thing. Just
Oh.
nothing that. Yeah.
Oh, you just want some weak crotch, I guess. Is that it?
Yes.
Bro needs some Reggie.
He says, I could probably put together a blend for you or something.
That would be great.
Yeah, man. Everybody knows Ale Bro smokes that loud.
He says, well, I would need a favor in return, of course.
Oh goodness, what is it?
Well, like I said, I'm a friend of Asor's, and I'm sort of conducting this sleep research.
That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Ah, he's a dream worlder. Got it.
He says, well, I've been installed here at this inn for a good while now, and
Installed.
he says, I'm monitoring the innkeeper's sleep, and I relay these results back to my associates in Asher. I'd be interested in studying your fluctuating sleep patterns while you all stay here. I like to look into travelers from time to time, kind of get some different data from different people in different parts of Nibiru, or at least from different parts of Nibiru, see how they sleep down here in the dark."
So what I'm hearing is you want to watch us sleep.
Not watch, no. Why do you have to say it like that? It's such a weird way to put it. No, I have a device, a tracker band, that I would ask that you wear for about a cycle or so. There's some Assyrian credits in it for you if you're interested.
Could we take a look at the device before saying yes?
Sure. He like reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like a band. It's kind of like a smartwatch band or something, or like one of those weight loss bands or things that like track your steps or whatever.
Fitbit.
Yeah, like a Fitbit kind of thing. Yeah.
A Fitbit for your forehead.
And he like sets it on the counter. And he says, "Look, if you just wear one of these for a cycle or so, it'll track your heartbeats. It'll track your breathing, your sleeping habits, and it'll help do some good, maybe in some research studies. Maybe
It'll give
help
me your social security number.
might help
website.
people sleep a little bit better down here." So he's with
We're
the
all-
Yeah, you're all like,
Respectful.
I don't know. So he seems like a nice guy, but he's clearly with the Arku, right? Like he just said, I'm sending the data back to my associates in Asher.
Yeah, and that's like a large part of where the Anki and Arku are based.
So he's like,
But
he's doing
He
research.
also said he was installed here. Like, bro.
He did.
no.
He said he's been installed at this inn for a while. Yeah.
Nah.
also, here's the thing, though. What are they going to, like... There's nothing that they could do with this? Okay, so they can't get any, like, identifying information on us from that. The worst that they can do is maybe figure out we're a vagabond.
It can have a tracking device in it.
Yeah, it could have all kinds of stuff in it that you don't know about, right? Like a GPS locator or something.
Oh, I'm
like-
sure, but we can just take the thing off.
You
Yeah.
hope.
You don't get the money unless you do the thing. Like that's the thing. He's offered to pay you guys.
No, I'm just saying that it's not like we're taking this with us and going to be having it forever now. It's like for how long do you say again?
a cycle, which is like
Yeah, it's like
a month-ish.
oh, I thought
It's not an
It's like 3
insignificant.
months.
It's like a night.
It's not an
I thought a cycle was a
insignificant
day again.
amount. That's a lapse.
No,
lapse
that's a
is-
lapse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
So,
Yeah, I think most of us are going to have to say no. Unfortunately, I don't know that we'll surely be here that long.
he says, "Oh, are you sure? I mean, I can put a good amount of credits in there for you guys. Say 2,000 each."
Well, if you say it like that.
No.
Like, what all have you guys learned from your research so far, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, as you probably know, some of the Arku don't fare well with the high gravity at all. Even the DDM tanks can be a little disorienting, and of course, most have to keep a steady influx of drugs, gestures to the pipe, in order to have any semblance of healthiness down here. Our research helps us come up with new devices, new ways to make DDM machines so they're a little more comfortable on the body, on the lungs mostly. And of course, like what kinds of substances might help get people into those sort of circadian rhythms of sleep. The tracker does know what chemicals you put in your body, that kind of thing as well. It can track all of that stuff.
He is holding
Well,
up a
that
watch,
is an
right?
actually good amount of money.
Yeah, I'm down.
I would be interested in trying it.
Cassidy's holding out a hand for it.
Yeah, so he like, puts the thing around your wrist or whatever.
No, she like immediately jerks back her hand. Give it.
Okay, here. Like I said, I just need you guys to keep it on for a cycle. It's not that hard. I mean, I'm sure most people wear their Alaktu much longer.
He
without
immediately starts pulling out her tools and starts
taking-
cracking it open.
please
I
don't.
think you're gonna get it taken back.
There's a bit of a warranty on. I really would rather you not take it apart if you don't mind. That's not part of the deal. You can buy one. I'll just sell you one if you want to like take it apart.
Look, I'm down for the research. Dank holds out his wrist.
Yeah, same. I'll do the same.
Naela is
What's in
freaking
here that you
pissed.
don't want us to know about?
Well, it's not really a matter of don't want you to know about it. It's more of I only have a certain number of these devices, and I don't really want them taken apart. I don't know how to work on them. What if you
Just
break
pop
it?
in the case.
Then I'm out of device, and
That's fair.
I can't pay you. Complicates things a little, doesn't it?
Oh, trust me, sweetheart. I can put this back together. No problem.
Rolls a critical fail.
Hey, maybe after we do the
That was social.
study,
I'm
then
not,
you could have
would-
it afterwards with your payment.
Hey, listen to the smart guy. I like that. So, yeah, if you do the study, I'll just let you keep the device in lieu of part of your payment. Does that sound fair? Then you can experiment.
I
with it or
I will wink at you where he can't see.
Okay.
I mean, just make sure it stays intact long enough you turn over the data at the end, obviously, right?
She's gonna put it down in front of Way Watcher. Is there anything I need to worry about?
You want Way Watcher to take a look at it?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Way Watcher. Way Watcher, like, okay, so here's you see like a little like laser come out of Way Watcher's like camera thing and like scans the device. And Way Watcher says,
Waywatcher detects communications software in this device. It seems to record bodily functions, statistics, heartbeat, breathing, chemicals administered to the body. It stores on site. Seems to connect to some sort of transmission device also.
and the guy's like, yeah, see, like I said, it's going to monitor your vitals. And then at the end, you give it back. I connect it to my device, I send the data over, and you get paid.
See, so we'll just do the thing. You'll get the thing afterwards that you can play with, and that'll be the fun part. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, Way Watcher's like,
It also seems to keep track of location, precise location, down to 2 meters.
I mean, how else are they going to tell how much we exercise?
Oh my god.
he's like,
Cassidy's gonna turn her screwdriver over, stab it through it, and then toss it back at him.
So the guy's like, while you're like about to do this, the guy is like, yeah, I mean, we need to keep track of like changes in elevation. What if you go somewhere else and sleep there? And then you like stab through the device, and it's like, psh, there's like some sparks. And yeah, you just like hand it back over to him. He's like, oh, great. Thanks. Well,
Alright,
that's gonna come out of your friend's payment. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Right. Well, the rest of you, how many was that? We give one to Dank, one to Derrin.
While he's putting it on me, I would like to activate my ability.
What is your ability? Oh, you're trying to sync with him. You're trying to do the
yeah.
okay, yeah. You got a roll to make, right? It's like a special roll.
Yep.
How do you use
It sounded so promising at first.
You broke his device. How dare?
No, I don't
Ah,
like the
dang,
fact that
Camu.
this random ass dude came up to her and is like, here, put this on. Well, I'll pay you for this.
Yeah, like sounds way too good to be true, right? Like
The
you,
I haven't
foot.
done it in so long. Does anybody remember how many dice I roll? I think it's 2.
you'll have
Um,
to look. It'll be on your beacon section of your habitat. I think it changes. Like most specials, you go up with time.
No, mine does not.
This is one of the few
Remember,
ones
we talked about how mine was fairly weak.
Yeah, it was like really hard to, and then if you fail, you don't get a chance at that person again.
Nope, never get to try again.
What was it, closing the cycle?
Yeah.
Or is it Dreamlink?
Dreamlink, I think.
Dreamlink, yeah.
2 dice.
But it's both. 2 dice? Okay, that's what I thought.
What do I do to use my revelation of the thief?
Oh, you just have to touch them. And you have to activate, which I think is 2 points, 2 memory points.
Yeah, I'm gonna jack one of this guy's memories.
Okay.
I may be stealing even more. We're just gonna steal this guy's brain.
All right, okay. Let's start with you, Derrin. Make your roll. If that's a success, right?
I succeed. Yes.
All right. Now,
I get 5 memories.
Okay.
Oh dang!
Holy shit!
Almost filled up a freaking page and you just got it.
Yeah.
It's just my next 5 memories that I roll.
Okay. So your next 5
They're
memories
just going to be as him.
come from him. Okay.
My god.
Write that down so you don't forget.
Write down his
Yeah.
name, and write down his name
Albra.
and what I told you about.
god, I can't wait to kill this dude.
Why would you kill this guy?
He
We can
just
kill him
done.
after I give his memories back.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Cool,
He
because I want those 5 memory points.
he straight pissed Naela off, like so bad.
Silas waiting for Dank somewhere. Couldn't we just give him to Silas?
Can you read me the section on the ability, just so the the audience know exactly
Yes.
what's going on?
The missing link. Discovering the missing links to your past is the only way in which you can recover your memories. There's this moment when you see someone, when you watch the way they walk or talk, or when you hear them laugh. Maybe it's when they tell some story that resonates with you, or they talk about someone you think might have known. It's in these moments that the reveal of a dream link is possible. Whenever such things happen, you can spend a memory point. It is just 1 memory point for me. To make a special roll of 2 dice. If you're successful, write a note with the name of the person you just have established a link with. If you don't know their name, now you do. As well as the link's significance besides it. The significance is equal to the total rolled in your special roll. Say, for example, you roll a 3 and a 4. That means you get to write a total of 7 memories about that person. Once those memories are written, you need to find another dream link, but you will then be able to write memories just as anyone else. If you fail to find a dream link with someone, you won't be able to form one with that person. Failure in the roll signifies that there's no connection between your past lives. Memories of the Dreamlands can come from any person you have a dream link with. That includes other vagabonds, such as members of your group, though you should get their consent before you try and search for a link with their character.
Okay, thank you. So you're going to be writing these memories, which means it's up to you. Actually get to decide what this guy's character is like through these memories. And I think for you in this moment, like when he's putting the thing on your wrist, you feel like an intense sort of like deja vu, maybe like you've lived this moment before, but from a different perspective, perhaps.
Right.
And I think that's probably the sense that you get. And now, whenever you come up with these memories, just let us know what's going on, and if you got any questions for me about this character, I will try to answer them for you. But I think ultimately, you get to decide those answers because you are basically now this character.
And then we'll deal with the second part, closing the cycle, when we come back and talk to him again.
Okay. Cool. All right, and then Dank was gonna steal some memories or something from this guy.
Yeah, so essentially, revelation of the faith can only be triggered while touching another human skin. You write a memory as the narrator into my journal. It's a significant memory that means a lot to the subject.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just a memory.
Yeah, he doesn't get a plus or minus to anything.
All right. Let me pull up your sheet here, Mr. Dank. You're on page 3.
That's right.
Okay.
We all picked some interesting ones. I'm glad somebody picked Thief, though. I almost decided to, but then I decided Harbinger actually sounded even more fun.
I could touch this guy and give him a heart attack.
Please don't do that.
All right.
I have to talk to him later. Don't.
Damn.
All right. So a significant memory for this guy. Ooh. Okay. He's standing over a DDM machine that is in this building, in this memory. Inside the machine is a person who's clearly unconscious. They're sleeping. They're kind of jostle around in their sleep. And this guy's like approaching the tank. He's just sort of like watching them. He's like in the room with them, watching them. And he says, what a pity to have a person, founder no less, a council member, stuck in such a pitiful state. I wish there was something I could do to ease your pain. He plays with some buttons on the machine, pushes a couple things, and he says, but perhaps there's still something you can do to help ease ours. What are you dreaming of, friend? What are you seeing? And then he like pushes a couple buttons again, and we see like a monitor pop up over like the edge of the tank that the person is in. We see them like kick a little bit in their sleep, like their dreams suddenly got like more intense or something. Let's like fidget in their sleep. And then we see like a video feed, and it's from like a first person's perspective, and we see like eyes blink in front of the camera, and as like they're looking at like a horizon that's like slightly out of focus, but it kind of comes into focus. And in that sort of like what we see is like a cityscape. We see like a blue sky, and we see like a cityscape. There's like a pyramid there. There's like an Eiffel Tower there. And then close in the foreground of the cityscape, we see these fountains like spraying up water into the air, and then lights along the cityscape. Like it's clearly Las Vegas. Like we, the audience, slowly would realize, oh, we're looking at like a cityscape of Las Vegas, like at midday or something like that. And there's like Bellagio fountains and all that junk happening. And this person is standing there looking at the video feed, and he says, interesting dreams. And then that's when the memory ends. So I'll put this in your memory. I remember Albra standing over a sleeping person at the Blackwater Inn who seemed stuck sleeping, ? Because you don't really know what was going on there.
Right.
Watching their dream of Las Vegas. Now, I don't know if you want to relay this to the rest of the party or not, but Naela had something very similar happen, sort of. There's like some tie-ins to the party's origin in this memory too, so I'll let you do with that what you will.
And then one last thing, just to clarify, all of the memories that I get from this guy will be things he doesn't remember.
Oh, okay, cool. So you
yeah,
like
because my whole thing is there's a like thing that comes by and steals some of your memories and brings them to the dreamscape, and that's what
Right.
I'm accessing.
Oh, okay, neat. And then when you close the cycle, he gets those memories back.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Interesting. All right. Well, you could definitely do some interesting stuff with that, with this guy.
Yeah.
Like
it also sounds like I can do more than one dream link at a time, which is nice.
Yeah. You'll ultimately be the one who decides if this guy is like working for the Inky or not, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, to some degree.
Yeah, and maybe he doesn't even know right now if he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. That's interesting. All right. Well, you get your connection, your dream link to him. Dank, you get to steal that memory from him. There's this sort of, when that exchange happens, there's like this sort of like, we see like this lens flare come over both of your eyes for a second when he puts the device on you. So who else is wearing a device? We got Dank and Derrin, right? Naela wasn't going to do it. Cassidy decided to break the device instead. Zack?
Nah. Or seems way too sketchy.
I think Ernest will not do it because Naela didn't do it.
I would not let him do it.
Enigma?
I'm good, thanks, though.
Okay.
Wow, who would have thought the only two people that did it were the people that needed to make contact?
I mean, I can make contact, but you said not to.
Don't kill him.
All right. There we go. I don't know why Enigma's name wasn't showing up, but it should be fixed now. All right. So yeah, he says, well, come and see me in about a cycle. I'll get the data, and you all will get paid, minus my broken device, of course.
Of course, we'll see you then.
Yeah, he nods. We seem like stand up and go upstairs, presumably to his room or something.
He's fucking seething.
Maybe you should be a little more upfront on what the device does first.
Well, he pretty much said everything. I could pretty much guess that it was going to be location by the way he talked about it. And besides, we have this lovely thing to help us out. Hey, Waywatcher, do you think you could spoof a person's information?
Define spoof.
Oh, you know, make this device think like it's on one of us. But it's really not.
Checking.
There's like a beep boop noise from Waywatcher. Let's see here. We got beeps. As it tries to connect to the device. Let's see.
Don't wear out his battery doing all this.
There'll be plenty of places to recharge, it's fine.
Savvy success.
I do believe I can fool this device into thinking it is connected to someone else's vitals. However, the data could be corrupted.
Well, we can deal with that as long as it records things, honestly.
So yeah, so he's saying, yeah, I might be able to hack into this thing and trick it into thinking it's on somebody else, but it might corrupt the data that it's recording, basically. Which means, like,
right.
Due to man, when he gets it back, he might be able to tell you did something funky with it. He might not be willing to pay you.
Oh, I don't really care about the payment.
I'll beat his ass.
Okay, all right. You're not wearing ones. You're just gonna beat his ass for fun, I guess.
Fun and profit.
He pretty much threatened to disclose our location to the Arku.
He kind of did, yeah. He didn't realize.
He fucking hates the Arku.
Yeah.
She also hates the Inky.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know you don't like the Arku, right? Like, he's just like, hey, I'm.
He also, like I said, would not have any of our identifying information, just where we were. Right. I really don't think this is as bad as you guys think it is.
Yeah. He wouldn't have like your name and stuff, but he'd have like all your vitals and where you were for that cycle, like everywhere you went.
If we started going to like the tower and staying at the tower, that would be a lot of fucking info for the wrong people.
Yeah, or if you were
and that's why we have Waywatcher just change our location information on the devices when we go somewhere.
Or if you were like trying to get into a secret Enki facility that's somewhere in the city. Because some of you guys were trying to track down Silas, and there was that whole location that you might be in an abandoned warehouse.
Waywatcher, how would this thing deal with your cloaking field? Because it has to get its GPS information from somewhere.
Yeah.
Since we're in the middle of the city, though.
Waywatcher says,
the location will be deactivated while my cloaking field is active. However, it will still monitor all vitals, and the data will be stored.
See? And that takes care of the really important bit. Now, like you said, we don't have to do it while we're here, because we, like you said, don't want to jam everything in the area. But we could do it when we're leaving if we have to. And then, who's to say? I'm sure these things malfunction every now and then.
It's not like we have to constantly be wearing them. We just have to wear them for a total of a cycle.
He wanted you to wear them for a cycle straight, like without taking them off.
Oh, that's lame.
He wants to see the difference between when you're awake and
Yeah,
when
no,
you're
that's what he
asleep.
meant.
It's gonna look super sus if you only wear them while you're asleep.
Right. Because it's taking all things into account, right? The idea is that it's like tracking what you're eating, what chemicals you're putting in your body, how this stuff affects your sleep, and how like deep you sleep with all these things. And it's combining all these factors across multiple
Yeah.
people.
Like, the idea that he has isn't bad, it's just how he's going about it makes me super sketchy.
Oh
of him.
no, he's really
That's-
bad, but I feel a kindred spirit from him.
Don't make me get Weight Watcher.
He
to
reminds
tease
me
you.
of my, early times.
On days.
Workshop.
Yeah, actually, I think after you guys are sitting there and talking about this for a few minutes, you see Albra come back down the stairs. And he's saying something. There's not like somebody with him, like he's walking by himself, but he says something. He puts a hand to his ear and presses something. And then he looks toward you guys and starts walking straight towards you. Yeah, like in the middle of your conversation. Sorry, I hate to interrupt. I just had one more question. He looks at Naela and Cassidy, not for you, and looks back at the rest of you, and he says, "Well, here's the thing. I would like to conduct my research along with more peoples of the Sorrows, and I just got word that, well, it seems the city is getting a few people in. I don't suppose you all have contacts with this group of, what are they saying, refugees?"
I mean, we know of them. We traveled with them, but we don't really speak for them. If you talk to them, I'm sure that'd be their decision, unfortunately.
Oh, I totally understand. I would love to have a conversation with them. I just, I think that I couldn't help but notice you guys from the Sorrows, and now I'm getting word that there's these group of refugees from the Sorrows. So I just thought that maybe they would be more likely to trust one of their own. Is there any way I could ask you to reach out to some of them? He says, I've got in my room, I've got a small suitcase full of these tracker bands, and I would love if you could pass word on to them for me. And you have my word that I'll put in a good word of good faith back to my contacts in Asher. If you could help me out with this.
I definitely think
just a
that we
little
could
bit
talk
ago
to
you
them.
just had a small number of them.
Sorry, what'd you say, Maury?
But you said just a little bit ago you only had a small number of them.
I've limited number, yes. Do you know how many are in this group of refugees? I mean, have like
quite a few.
You
have, like,
do realize how suspicious as fuck you sound, right?
What do you mean? Look, I'm trying to be honest with you. I just got off communication with my contacts, and it seems that they're particularly interested in peoples that hail from the Sorrows. I mean, makes sense. The Sorrows are.
I'm
Put
sure
Weight Watcher
they
in Darren's
are.
lap, and she is getting up and punching him in the face.
wait. You're gonna
Zero
punch,
to 100.
Doing it.
you're gonna punch the guy? Yeah.
He is pissing her off. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm gonna stop you.
She's plopped Weight Watcher in your lap, so have fun with a 20-pound robot.
I'm gonna throw it on the floor unless you don't stop.
He's like, I have a connection with this guy. So it would be a contested roll, right? Like normally it would
Yeah.
be you against this guy, but I think now it's also you against this guy and Derrin.
Derrin, yeah.
Which what I'll do is I'll let Derrin make the roll with a +1 because this guy would presumably be helping defend himself.
At least I have hand to hand.
Oh, good. I have
She's-
negatives, so you're probably going
She's
to
not
win either
trying
way.
to kill him. She's just pissed off with him.
Yeah.
You're punching
Yeah, so I get to roll
Derrin
2
in
dice.
the face.
No,
Oh.
not Derrin. She's punching Albra.
Sweetie, they are connected. Everything that you do to him.
No, that's not right.
Is it not?
No.
Oh, well then I'm
just
get
gonna
his
punch
memories.
this bitch too.
No, he can just have memories of Elbra's.
I'll
Right.
They have,
punch
like, a
this
m-
bitch too. I don't give a
Now
fuck.
he
I'll
does
help you.
he does get a bonus if he completes the cycle with this character. Like he does have something to gain from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they
So,
said
I
they're
mean-
not going to kill him, so.
Right.
No, I'm not gonna
No.
kill him. I am gonna punch him
She's
in the
just
dick.
pissed off
though.
with him.
That's
So
okay.
Cassidy's going for the nose and she's going for the dick. This is great.
So you
And
get
Dank
a
is gonna stand right in front of the guy. Like, nah.
Oh, you're helping as well? Okay, Dank's gonna roll, not me.
okay. Dank will roll with a +1, and then either Cassidy or Naela will roll with a +1 because they're helping the other one.
Wait, I only get a +1.
So you'll help me, Naela?
The +1 dice is because someone else is helping you.
So I get like what I'd have for
What's
like
your?
activity, and then a +1.
Right.
Right.
I have
Yes,
a
as
1
long
for
as it
hand to
doesn't
hand.
go above 6, I believe.
I have a 3.
Oh, you can do it and get a +4 then.
Are we ruling +4s or is it still just +3s?
It still would
You
be.
if you have +3 and then if
No,
somebody
no.
helps you get a 4th one.
No,
That's
you,
what
the
you've done
max you can
before.
get is +3.
Yeah, if someone
There
helps you,
is a way around the
if-
+3 thing.
if
that
someone
I've found.
helps you, you get a 4th one. Yes.
Okay, so it's still 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably
It's
what
only
Dank is
with-
getting too, so.
It's
Yeah.
only with your own skills you can get a +3.
Right.
So yeah. So I'll
Okay,
assist
making sure.
Naela so that way she can get the 4.
This
So
is
this is,
contested, right?
Yeah, it's contested roll.
Oh my god.
And nobody but
just-
you guys can interfere.
Now, just
She's
keep-
just popping Whale Watcher into Darren's lap since Darren's the only one she currently trusts Whale Watcher with.
okay.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. So
We'll reroll that.
I need to know if
Uh,
that's the final roll, or are we
Okay,
re-rolling
so-
anything?
Nobody but Naela and Dank can affect those rolls
That's fine. I eat popcorn.
because they're their rolls. You can't affect another player's rolls.
Correct. Yeah.
I will re-roll my ones.
Okay. Spend an
So
influence
that's
point.
44, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Influence point.
So take away 4 and put you at a 7 plus whatever. Plus 11. So that's
That'd be 15.
18, I think.
And I
15.
still beat it by 1.
Oh no, there's a 3 there. Never mind, I'm going crazy.
Yeah, so Dank still beats you by 1. Is that the final answer, Naela?
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste another influence point on that.
Now, is it
We
safe?
helped. We could use our influence.
Is it safe to assume that no one is doing lethal damage here?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
We just want to make him suffer.
so Dank is defending the guy and wins the match. So Naela and Cassidy go down 1 body step as you lunge at this guy, and between Derrin, this guy, and Dank, a little scuffle breaks out for a second, right? And in the commotion, you get hurt slightly, so just go down 1 body step, both of you. You can decide how you're hurt, if it's like somebody smashes your head into the bar or what happens
I think
exactly.
it'd be funnier if I
Slipped
just
and twisted your ankle.
stand in front of the guy, you both punch me and hurt your hands.
Oh, you punch the guitar.
yeah. That's kind of cool. I like that. And yeah, and the guy is like completely caught off guard for a minute. He's like freaked out that you just tried to attack him. He thanks Dank for protecting him and Derrin. And of course, like everyone else in the inn is like staring over here, like, what just happened? Everyone's kind of like, there's that sort of like awkward silence. Everyone stops talking and looks over as like I guess commotion breaks out.
Yeah, Naela's just gonna look at Dank and Wolfy, and she's just gonna be like, "Oh, I'll take care of both of you later."
I welcome the challenge.
Wonderful weather we're having.
Agreed. It's, real nice.
And then I'm gonna walk away and snort some of my craj to calm myself down.
Okay,
You drugs.
sure. You snort some of your drugs as you walk away. Make a roll. Let's see how it hits you because this is your stuff. It's strong, right?
Yeah.
Do you have like a resistance to craj roll or anything, or you could just do normal roll if you don't?
I mean, I don't know if you'd actually count this, but I have like an actual roll to the craj, but it doesn't specify craj.
What does it say?
So it's essentially a response to the unknown, but it's literally about craj.
That's fair. I'll allow it. Savvy success.
Yeah.
All right. You don't go down a mind step. But yeah, I mean the stuff kicks in and it does what it's supposed to do. You feel the effects. I'll allow you to decide what that is like for you.
Oh yeah, it's like super chill. Things are slightly getting more colorful. She's still aware of what's happening around her. She's just in a more calm, cool, and collected state, and things just look more pretty.
Okay.
Since she didn't go down a mind step and she's not technically fully tripping.
Yeah. You just you're in control still. For sure. All right.
Very
Now,
nice, Dank.
go
Cassidy's gonna point at him from over Dank's shoulder. I imagine she probably busted her lip on something. And go, if I find those stupid trackers on any of them, I will break them and I will find you. And then she's gonna pick up Boy Watcher and walk out.
I'm terribly sorry. They've had a bad bit of a time here.
And not just here, just in regards to the Arku in general.
Yeah, I meant recently, but yes.
Yeah, he says, really? How could anyone have a bad... The Arku
Think
are
about it.
great. I mean, they're keeping the city alive with trade, right? Like, they're sending batteries and medical supplies and...
Tell
Have you
that to the
seen-
people that they steal food from.
Yeah, all these things that they send come from somewhere else, and they're not always acquired in the most ethical of means.
Well, nobody forced anybody at gunpoint to get in a contract
Yes,
with the
they
Arku.
have.
Like, no, in all seriousness, those people, when they came to the Sorrows, or their descendants came to the Sorrows, or whatever, most of them knew what they were getting into, right? Like, it's not exactly known as being the most hospitable place in the Umbra, right?
It is
Albra, let me just... We're doing this thing for you. For right now, I don't know that either of us are going to get through to the other, so... At the moment, I think it would just be best to leave it at that.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for not letting me get beat up in a bar fight.
You're welcome.
Of course. And,
Thanks
I mean,
for-
you know what they say. The things to never talk about during a thing are politics, money, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he nods.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I think what you're doing is an admirable effort. Research into making life better in general, being able to survive the environment. It's a good thing. Sure, this data could be used in less positive ways, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You seem like
And since you're doing this kind of research, do you mind if I ask you something about the brain?
Yeah, he nods.
Have you had any missing time?
He thinks for a moment. And he says, "Missing time. I don't know about
Yeah,
this."
moments where you were somewhere and then suddenly somewhere else and have no idea what you did in between.
Well, that happens to everybody, right? Like, what, you never been doing like a menial task and suddenly realized, oh, I tuned out the last hour.
Bit
Day,
more extravagant than
lapse.
that, yeah.
Well, something like that, but have you ever felt afterwards that there was something more that you'd forgotten?
You know, I really try not to think about it. Everybody's got their burdens, I guess. You know, and my memory's not what it used to be. But that's okay. People get older. I mean, the gravity does strange things to people down here. It could just be some sort of reaction to that, right?
It's okay. We'll talk more the next time we come by. In a cycle.
Yeah, he nods. He says, I mean, they call it the land of lost memories for a reason, I think. Surely that's all that means, right?
Of course.
Yeah, he kind of looks a little uneasy. He says, right, well, let me know if you can help me out with that Soros thing.
I'm sure we can bring them the information, but as I said, it will be their decision.
Yeah, he nods. Should I get you the suitcase?
Probably not. Glances over towards the two.
Cassidy left. She walked out.
Well, I mean, towards where either you are or were.
Yeah, he's like, all right, fair enough. Well, let me know.
We'll
if you
just
change your
send
mind.
people here. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes back upstairs. And I think that's probably about the time that was it Eric and what was our barkeep's name?
Isla?
Yes. Walk in. Well, it seems we're ready for you. Oh, where did your friend go?
She had a bit of a incident. It's fine. She should be back fairly soon.
Okay. Well, Eric is ready to have you guys do some work in the gardens, or we can wait for your friend. Eric, don't worry about it. I'll just tell him to meet you out there when they're ready. And Eric, and
Go ahead and start, and if she doesn't come by, we can pay for that particular bit.
I could also go see if she's all right.
That's also an option.
I'll go too. Let's go, little one.
so Naela and Enigma go to check on Cassidy.
Enigma just like reaches out and like loops an arm with you and goes, "Of course, my dear."
Yeah.
Naela be tripping.
So she can handle the flirts when she's had drugs.
Yeah.
All right.
Can dish them right back when she's got drugs.
All right, Cassidy, where did you go? Did you just step out to get some air? Where did you go?
She's probably going with the flow of the people, wherever that
Pull the
takes her.
fucking for all.
Well, she has no idea really where the hell she's going in the city, so.
Yeah, okay. So we see you out in like the alley near the bar, maybe walking away.
Like, she's keeping enough tabs to be able to find her way back, but she's walking enough to like blow off steam.
Okay.
She's probably ranting to Waywatcher too.
Okay, you got Waywatcher. I thought you left Waywatcher with Derrin.
No, she picked him up before
Okay.
she left.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we switch scenes, I kind of lean over to Dank, and that's how you do psychological warfare.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll give Enigma and Naela a chance to like track you down because it sounds like you're gonna put some distance between you and the end for a few, anyway, at least. Is that right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's probably gonna be people staring after like that woman's carrying a Waywatcher, right?
And has no necklace.
No
Yeah.
necklace, carrying a robot. Yeah, there's definitely
Talking to it.
There's definitely some people that you definitely turn some heads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trying at it.
you walk by a one of the first people you see. Like there's crowds of people like in the background kind of everywhere. But when you come out of the inn, you walk by a woman who's walking along the I mean, there are kind of docks even here in this part of the city. So yes, there's like this woman walking along the edge of the dock that passes you, and she's cradling something in her arms. It's tucked up. It's like kind of rolled up in a blanket, and she's probably looks to be in her early to mid 30s. Brown hair, kind of down just past her shoulder, but she's wearing like a robe with the hood up. And yeah, kind of like she's holding something in her arms in front of her like an infant, but it's like wrapped up in something, so you can't see what it is. But she's like, you can see the indentation of what looks like a body that she's like cradling in her arms, and she just kind of like walks by you, looks at you for a second, expressionless face, and like you're like talking to your robot, and she kind of like, we see her like walk by you. And then she kind of turns and looks behind her and watches you for a moment, like as you're like talking to Waywatcher or something.
Just ranting to him.
Yeah, she kind of like listens, like we see her like listening in, sort of. And then she like leans down to the infant that she's carrying in front of her, and she kind of like coos to it. Like, and we see her like tuck back like the thing that it's wrapped up in where its face would be, and when she pulls it back, we see just like a black void under there, and she kind of like, she's like, oh, aren't you the cutest? And she can like coos at it, and it's still like completely emotionless face. She kind of sounds like a robot, right? Like very monotoned. And then she tucks the blanket back around it, turns and sees that you're still like within eyesight, and just kind of stands there and waits, like presumably waiting for you to leave. Yeah, and then maybe do you keep going? You don't see the black void that she's carrying, but like, do you presumably like keep walking? Or I guess you could roll to see if you wanted to pick up on that.
I would probably, I'll roll observation, but if I don't see it, I would keep going. Nope.
Okay. Yes, we see you keep going. And what are you doing what are you talking to Waywatcher about as you're like walking along?
She is pissed off about Albra, so first it probably started about like how she's mad about what he's doing, how he could be putting people in danger, that kind of thing. And then after she gets about that, it's probably like her making like these wild accusations. You know how people can get when they start making gossip.
Yeah, sure.
So it's probably turned into that after she's run out of like logical things.
Fair enough.
But she probably does, since she has heard about Inky, she probably does like, and for all we know, he could be with the Inky, he could be looking for Vagabonds, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Waywatcher is agreeing with you for the most part. Like, I don't think Waywatcher says anything that would contradict what you're saying at all. Like,
it is hard to know who to trust and who not to trust, even in a place like Nataku.
Exactly. And then he thinks we're just gonna put something on our wrist that tracks us down to the meter?
Waywatcher does not like being tracked.
Nope.
Okay. Naela, Enigma. Somebody make a roll to see if you guys can track down Cassidy.
You probably have the higher score, don't you, Gerblin?
Yeah, I've got a +2 to observation. I think that would work.
Okay, then I'll just help you.
So it'll give you an extra dice for Naela helping you.
And then if it helps, I'm not trying to hide if that would assist them as well.
Sure.
So, do I roll a normal or a contested?
Well, it'll be a normal roll. It wouldn't be contested. Okay.
Success!
Yes. So you were able to track down Cassidy. What does it look like? You probably passed by the same woman who like watches you all as you approach and head the same direction. Again, like turns her head to watch as you all go, almost like waiting on you to like leave the area. Doesn't say anything to you, just kind of stares at you with this solemn face as you like pass by.
It's probably, I remember picking up on the patterns of how people would part around us before because we didn't have the necklace. So probably watching those patterns of the way people move and where it looks like there's this opening, assuming that's where she's gone.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's fair to say you can approach Cassidy for, like, if you want to catch up to her in the crowd and like grab her by the shoulder or like call out to her or whatever, however you want to do that.
Yeah, we probably kind of slowly sort of approach, listening as the rant continues. And just kind of slide up beside her. Like, hi, okay, I guess we're all walking the same direction now.
Yeah. We see the group of you kind of like move out of camera as the camera like stays on this the woman with the infant for a moment. We see her like with you guys in the background, kind of like slightly out of focus. We see her like duck into an alley, and then she like looks around and she like she like unravels the stuff that the infant's kind of like wrapped up in, and she like sets it down in the alley. And from this, we get this camera shot of that happening, but we can't see what the infant is. We just see like a silhouette, like of the lady's like lower body and the infant sort of being set on the ground, and she like pulls the wrappings off of it and kind of like throws them over her shoulder, and then we see her like hold a hand down, palm open, and then we see this black void sort of like wrap around her palm and kind of like squeeze softly, and then we see them walk out a camera shot into the alley, and we hear like a slight giggle, and then we cut to you guys.
Ew.
She's taking her nightmare out to play, okay?
It needs its walkies.
Yeah.
It does.
So.
I just hope it doesn't hunt us.
Yeah, no shit.
We're gonna be in trouble. Pretty sorry. I think what Cassidy notices y'all, she's just like, oh, hi. I'm better now.
Sweetie, how are ya? Are you okay?
I will be.
It's good to hear that you will be. Do you still need to walk some more, or are you ready to put your mind to work?
I think work will help, as long as the dickhead isn't nearby.
He'd wandered off prior to us departing to come find you.
Good.
You shouldn't be an issue.
Well, as long as there's that, I should be okay.
Don't worry. I won't let him hurt us.
And if you need a hand with relaxing a little, just let me know. I
She,
will do
like,
my best.
raises a brow at Enigma.
I'm
Waggles eyebrows.
not flirting with you at the moment. I'm being serious.
There he is. I still don't understand what you mean by relax, but okay.
It's easier to focus if the mind isn't so loud sometimes, if that makes sense.
I guess, maybe?
They kind of shrug and go, it's an old mental trick of letting go. Makes things easier to process without getting drowned in them.
Maybe we'll have to try it sometime.
Whenever you'd like.
Naela kind of nods and it's like, yeah, it works wonders.
She, like, points to Naela and goes, I don't want to get like her, though.
No drugs involved in this.
I'm
Sorry.
not talking about drugs. There's also meditation.
That's the word for it. Thank you. I knew there was a bright mind behind those bright, gorgeous eyes.
And there is a fiery soul with that wonderful, magnificent orange hair that you have.
Do I need to go back into the inn and leave you two alone?
No, they need to go back into the.
I mean, there's some people who love to put it on display. It's a kink. I mean, and who am I to shame?
What are you referring to?
Oh, sweet summer child.
No.
Unfortunately, I am not one for demonstrations. Should you be interested in one, you may look elsewhere.
What are we talking about?
Just like squeezes you a little and just goes, don't worry your pretty little head about it, my dear.
Okay.
Throws the other arm around Cassidy and kind of turns us all around back towards the inn.
All right.
Yeah, hi. Naela's never been flirted with. She does not know what's going on.
We can tell.
Sober or not.
It's very amusing.
All right. So you all return to the inn.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Presumably ready to work, right? Like you
Yeah.
we see you guys
Yeah.
get there and head out to the garden and to meet Eric now, or Arak, maybe, however you say. The barkeep Azor seems to just be fine calling him Eric. Now it is getting kind of late. It is past midnight here on Central Time. So, do we want to end the session there? With you all like returning to the inn?
I mean, I'm cool to keep going for a bit longer if everybody else is.
Yeah, I don't work tomorrow.
I'm
Okay.
fucking
Yes!
tired. No, I'm so fucking tired.
Aw.
Zach's calling it.
Alright, maybe
It's
we
a,
Zack
should
tipped in.
stop.
it's a good place to leave off with like you guys returning to the end, and maybe like we can start next session with like a work montage, or we can just skip that scene if you guys want. Like we can just be like, okay, you guys worked for an hour. And we can also like talk about what other kinds of stuff you guys might want to do. I think it's fair to say that the Asapu are probably not staying at the inn.
No.
I imagine they're becoming something like swamp people, just living out in the lake.
Yeah, yeah, like along the shores and stuff. Yeah. But I think everyone else here would be good. The caravaneers that you guys traveled here with have mostly started either hanging out the inn, or maybe a few have made their way to the Wisefolk Council area or what have you. I know a bunch of them are going to be meeting, having that dinner with you all the next day. Yeah, maybe we'll talk a little bit about what else you guys can, what other trouble you guys can get into in Nataku.
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there is
100%.
plenty. We've barely checked out any of the areas. Like, let's see here. Let's look at the map here.
We've been
So-
to the docks. We've been to the inn.
I've been to the people.
Yeah.
Been to the circle. Or the
um,
council.
Yeah, the
You
Wisefolk
have.
Council.
Yep.
You got invited to dinner.
Yeah, and I haven't told you guys yet.
There's still the
That still hasn't happened.
Lol, oops.
There's still the Pilgrim's Chapel, the oil reserves, and the Church of the Holy Woman.
The tower.
The Tower of Merrick. And I mean, you guys could like, if there's a place in particular you're wanting to check out, you could just be like, hey, I'd like to take some time while we were hanging out in the inn to like ask somebody some stuff, maybe get some information on this thing. There's gonna be plenty of jobs available, that kind of stuff. Typically, one of the things by tradition a Wisefolk Council member who is sponsoring you will do is offer a contract, some kind of work, basically. Besides just like working in a garden for an hour. Keep in mind, you've also been given the offer to help hunt down a large predator in the water, some kind of big animal that what was her name? Okay, is what Dank was calling her, right?
Yeah.
And Oreo.
Oreo.
Yeah. She's trying to like track it down and get a trophy, kind of thing.
Okrello.
Okrello? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's other stuff you guys can get into, but we'll figure that out next session. What is the deal with the guy pretending that things are all good with the Arku?
Two of them now.
Yeah. Yes. But I mean, you know, different people, different perspectives or whatever. Maybe things are good with the Arku.
Maybe this guy's just
No.
privileged and the other guy's an asshole.
Maybe you guys are like just Arku racists or something. I don't know. Which is fine.
By that logic, I'm Arku and Inky racist. Next.
That means she would be against us since we look Arku, though.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And she hasn't been so far. I mean, she did save your lives for the most part, so there's that. By the way, Naela, you're still like the savior for these groups. So a lot of these people are like your charges, and they straight up, you had two of them straight up disobey you in the middle of the inn when you went to attack Homeboy. Two of your charges like stood up to you and disobeyed you. So I don't know how you feel about that, but that's just something maybe to keep in mind.
Oh, she's
Well,
fucking
she did
pissed.
say she was. She did say she was gonna have a little discussion with them later.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Well, I hope
Can
you guys.
Cassidy have that discussion with you?
Sure.
Well, I
Maybe
hope
we
you
can
guys-
teach Waywatcher how to tease people.
Oh,
while we have that
jeez.
discussion.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Do not threaten
Teach
me
him
with
some self-defense.
That'd be dope.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Do not threaten me with violence.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I thought you
Um,
said you weren't for displays.
Fair and valid.
Well, I hope you guys had fun today. It's been a blast playing with you all, as always.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. So this is the part where we do like announcements and things like that. So let me pull up my announcements doodad here, and we will start with Gerblin, who played Enigma for you guys tonight, has a Twitter page, twitter.com/sketchingspace. If you want to go over there and see all the space that is sketched, you can check out that link right there. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is down in the description below. Go check out the doodads and see what the sketching. Gerblin, have you got anything, like, is there anything new that's been sketched you want to tell us about?
One of these days, I'll post more things. The depression has been real, and art has not been finished as of late.
Oh no! Big
Aw.
hugs.
I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear
Yes,
that.
lots of
Fucking
loves.
retweet.
Yes, much love to Gerblin. Well, you can also check out twitch.tv/TeamZack for your boy Zack here over there playing, like, beat Sons of the Forest 4 times. Check out twitch.tv/TeamZack. Give him a follow. Show some love over there. Do it.
Woot.
If you liked the art for Cassidy Williams, who is played by Mori on the show for you guys tonight, you can check out the artist page here. It's tiktok.com/@iatakuhime. Also did the artwork for Narcissa in the other group on the show. Go check it out. And here you go. There's the we made it blue because the everything is blue in the Umbra. So go show some support. What else we got? We got our GoFundMe for our Paladin the Beverage, who needs all that NOS and rocket fuel to take a punch from a Naela in a bar. I thought for a second we were gonna have a good old-fashioned bar fight. That could have been cool. Maybe we'll do that next time. Tune in and find out. And of course, if you want to check out this game for yourself, this is the Nibiru TTRPG. It's made by Araukana Media. You can check out their website, their Twitter page here. And it's a good game. It's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys are as well. And you can find me at Ramblin Man TV on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all the things.
And if you want to see the chaos that goes on, join the Discord.
Yes, the
Yes.
Discord. Okay, so the Discord is public. You can see all the chaotic memes, which these guys have been posting the entire game. Here at the Discord. Go check out the Discord and jump in it. It's public. It's free. You can do that. And if you want to see the uncensored versions of these videos, because I'm sure you got a lot of bruh in this one at the beginning if you're watching on YouTube, you can head over to patreon.com/RamblingManTV. You can become a patron for a couple bucks, and you'll get access to all the uncensored videos. No editing, no censoring, no intros, none of that stuff. Not even ads. You can check them out there.
The giggles are 100% worth it.
They are worth it. For sure. Thank you, Maury. What else do I got? Oh, the schedule. So this week, what else we got this week? Friday, we're doing some more Unknown New Orleans. That's the Unknown Armies TTRPG, the like modern, occult, underground, supernatural thriller kind of stuff. And that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Friday. And then we've got more Forest of Flesh Monday next week. This Monday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. And I think we're off of masks next week, but we got some more broken coming back Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And I think that is what's coming up. I don't know. I got nothing else. You guys got anything you want to add?
No, that'll do it.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for playing. Everybody have a great night and a great week. And yeah, we'll see you back here next time. Good night, guys.
And remember, go out and be a light unto the world. And by light, I mean gaslight.
Thank you, Wolfy.